What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Tuesday night edition of Get the Tables podcast. Excuse me, I'm your host as always, Tony, with my co-host tonight, the bizarre one, Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Good. Are we on Twitch?
Yeah, we're live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Periscope. So we welcome everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for taking time out of your Tuesday night to join us this evening. Quite a bit to talk about tonight. We got Raw, we got SmackDown Live, but I think the big news coming out of the wrestling world is the big announcement that was made tonight, or excuse me, earlier on this today, that Dean Ambrose is not going to re-sign with the WWE after April. He's not going to re-sign with the WWE after WrestleMania, apparently, and he's going to leave the company. So I know a lot of people thought this was kind of weird and odd that the WWE came out with a press release mentioning that, you know, they're not going to re-sign Ambrose and that he was leaving after WrestleMania or in April after his contract is up. It's just kind of funky how they did this. I don't remember them doing this for any other wrestler that is leaving the company. You know, they could have done this for a lot of other guys that have left recently, but it seems like it's kind of odd that they did it for Dean Ambrose. There's a lot of speculation on why he's leaving. Thank you guys for the Super Hearts, Lit Mantis and Speeds. I hope you had a good time at the Royal Rumble, Lit Mantis. Saw some of those pictures that you had. Seemingly he's just not happy. He's just not happy with the WWE and the direction that his character has gone since, I guess, his return from injury, and he's just going to leave. Kind of funny what kind of storyline and he kind of got into Triple H's face on Monday night as well, and then we get this announcement tonight, or excuse me, earlier today. What were your thoughts on this, Dave? It's just kind of odd out of nowhere that they come out with Ambrose leaving. So I put on a little Twitter poll earlier on today on our Twitter account. Do you think this is a work? And 60% said yes. The only reason why I would think it was a work is because WWE announces it like 2-3 months before, WrestleMania, or his contract is even close to being up. So of course, All Elite, it's been, already rumored to be where everybody thinks that Dean Ambrose is going to be headed. Apparently, he turned down a new 5-year deal worth 7 figures, according to PW Insider. Any thoughts on this, Dave? It's kind of interesting to see what's going on with Dean Ambrose right now.
I mean, yeah, when I first heard about this, you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay. When I first heard about it, I had to double check it because I seen it pop on Twitter. I'm like, okay, so let me go look around a little bit online just to make sure I wasn't gonna sit there and tweet about something if it really wasn't accurate or some kind of inaccurate news source. You get that stuff a lot, fake news all over the place. So once we found out, it seemed legit, and then later on we found out it was confirmed by WWE, which was really surprising. Because now a week or so ago, they did confirm that Ronda Rousey technically went to TMZ Sports that she wasn't leaving. So, I mean, So they did that part of it too just a week or so ago. So maybe they decided that since he's not going to resign, he's leaving, they might as well get ahead of it and just say, okay, look, I get it's weird that they would announce it because they never announced it, but maybe they're doing stuff differently now. Well, they want to focus on everyone else and just let everyone know what's going on and kind of be more upfront about it. I mean, it was strange. And yes, everyone's saying all leave, and that's the most likely scenario, but I'm still holding out for Sam McCallahan and Dean Ambrose or John Moxley to reunite. Still holding out for that, but they can still reunite in AEW. That's very possible as well too. So
I still
Switchblade conspiracy.
I just think it's 50-50 on the whole situation. It's just totally weird how they announced it a couple of months in advance, and I know a lot of people are saying, why would what is the WWE benefit of having them announce this and then it be at work or so
one thing.
Go ahead. No, what were you gonna say? I'm listening.
Look, it would be one thing if this was like it's not like CM Punk thing at all because CM Punk was on top and one of the top guys. He was your champion at the time. Dean Ambrose isn't being used at all. He wasn't even in the Rumble that long, I don't think. Maybe in a little bit, but still, he hasn't been used since the Seth Rollins stuff. And then they did this whole and kind of almost buried him a little bit on Raw, Triple H, if you want to say that, because of the stuff he was saying to him. So it's like you bring up the other stuff, like you turned on him and all that, and it's just it was kind of funny. And they did kind of tease where he got in Triple H's face a little bit, where people were like, "Oh man, this would be a great match." And then you see the interview after Raw where there's like they're playing up like he might possibly face Nia Jax now because he's doing the whole women thing. Like, well, she doesn't belong there with me because I'm a man, she's a woman type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was strange, and I was shocked because I didn't think Dean would leave WWE. I mean, because it was just. Yeah, I mean, he seemed like he was good, but maybe he's not because he's not being used, and I don't blame him. None of us can really. And the funny thing is, these WWE fans, I'm a WWE fan, but not to this extent. They're all saying, "Oh, there's no way he's leaving. His wife still works there. There's no way he's going to leave. This is all fake. No way he's going to leave." Like, okay, and everyone's worried. And these are the same fans who don't even like Dean Ambrose. They just don't want him to leave and go make a name for himself somewhere else, even bigger name, I should say. It was a big name coming in, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know much about Dean before he came. I have watched a lot of his stuff, but John Moxley, I mean, people are tweeting about it like crazy, especially the indie scene. So, I mean, I think Joey Janela, Sammy Callahan even tweeted about it. So, I mean, it's really interesting right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next few months.
It's going to be very interesting. Your connection's a little bit hilter-tilter there, Dave. I don't know if you want to maybe move around. I know you're having the big old snowstorm up there, so that could be possibly why.
Yeah, that's true.
Your connection could be a little bit on the shits tonight. But it is kind of weird.
Does it get better?
A little bit. It is just kind of weird that WWE comes out, announces it ahead of time, which is something they never really do. Because to me, it's like, what are they going to do with Dean Ambrose now that everybody knows that he's potentially going to leave the WWE after WrestleMania, apparently? Are they going to keep him off TV now? Are they going to have possibly his last match maybe be against Nia Jax and lose? Like, what the hell is going to go down with Dean Ambrose on Raw now, especially after this whole announcement? Because everybody in the world now knows that Dean Ambrose is going to leave. That's just kind of makes it kind of weird and odd, but, who do we know what's going on? It's just all speculation until it actually happens to me.
We used to see this stuff a lot too back in the day where a guy would be leaving and then he would just lose like crazy. They would make him lose. Like you do with the NXT. The guys are getting called up. Then we just lose a bunch of matches before they left just to kind of do the little job, thank you type thing. And that I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see with Dean Ambrose the next 2 months is him losing all the time. And it's going to suck if that's how they're going to treat him, I think. But which I get it. He could be treated really badly, but we'll see what happens. Now everyone's going to be watching, though, Everyone's going to have, now that we all know about it, we're going to be watching. How are they going to treat Dean Ambrose going out?
I think the fans treat him bad? Now.
They can't, They almost can't.
The fans are going to get behind Dean Ambrose now.
So, yeah, definitely. I mean, because now you almost can't treat him badly in a way going out, because you put this publicly out there and fans are going to be watching. How are you going to treat him going out? Are you going to treat him bad and have him lose a bunch of matches? Oh, this is only because he's leaving. they're burying him because he's leaving right now.
Oh, absolutely.
They almost can't do that right now.
It's going to be very interesting to see. Now, let's get to the chat room real quick because I see some good comments in there. Lit Mantis said, hold on, let me go. They wouldn't promote a guy leaving that's ass backwards. It's a storyline. If Renee is staying on Raw, it's got to be a work, says Dave, New Jersey. He doesn't care about the money. Maybe he will go to Impact. That's really awesome. Wishful thinking. I think Impact. Impact has a shot. I would assume if he does leave, but I think right now the talk of the town is AEW, and to him to show up on there, I think would be a spike for them as well. Not destroyed.
Oh, definitely.
Dean Ambrose, if he's not happy, who am I to tell Dean Ambrose to stay somewhere where he's not happy? If any of you guys are in the chat room and you're working at some place that you're not happy, eventually you're going to cave and you're going to leave if you have a better opportunity. Dean Ambrose is one of the top superstars in the WWE. He just hasn't been booked correctly at all. His character is kind of at the moment. You thought
it's been a while though, too. It's been like this for at least since he came back. I mean, even before he left, he wasn't really being treated that good.
Right, and then when he had this return from injury, and they really kind of hyped it up, and then he turns heel, and you're thinking, okay, something might come out of it, and no. It ended up being just shit. Nothing happened. He ends up kind of turning to stale heel, and he ends up losing the championship and so on and so forth. And it just doesn't seem like Dean Ambrose and the WWE ever clicked. And maybe if his style or his character is a little bit too edgy for them, I'm not really sure. But what I've been reading is that he's tired of he's just tired of the hokey bullshit. He doesn't like his character. He doesn't like the way he's portrayed on TV. He's just not happy in general. So if him taking time off and going somewhere else, that might help him.
Do you think this, even though Sammy's little run was a lot shorter, do you think it's similar to that though, where it's because we even said this on here before, Sammy Callahan is doing an Impact, but we think Dean Ambrose will be doing on the Indies. So it's basically kind of where they want to be a little bit.
I don't think
they're friends.
This is to me. If Dean, this is my opinion, and I could be totally off on this. If AEW was not created yet, I do not think Dean Ambrose would be leaving. I think Dean Ambrose would be staying.
You think it's only because of AEW?
Exactly. AEW is going to offer him the same amount of money, maybe not as long contract as WWE offered him. But you can't tell me that AEW can't offer Dean Ambrose $1 million, because that's basically what the WWE was going to do it throughout 5 years. That's nothing for them.
Well, $5 million for 5, $1 million for me. That's why he left that, only $1 million.
Money's not an option. Money is not a problem for Dean Ambrose. He apparently lives kind of cheap. He saved his money very well, and he's not worried about the money. But I think if AEW was not in a already created, already announced, or they already have a couple of wrestlers going there already, I don't think he would be leaving. I think he would be staying with the WWE. I don't see him making no jump to ROH or Impact Wrestling, because they're not the talk of the town right now. AEW right now is what everybody's talking about. You got WWE kind of even making them feel a little bit threatened, where they're having them take their AEW shirts off when they're at ringside and giving them WWE shirts instead, so they're not seeing AEW shirts on TV. It's just kind of weird how WWE is kind of treating this.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's the money though. I just don't think it's about the money, because
it's not about
I'm sure Vince or whoever was doing this, that they would offer him much money he wanted. I'm sure. I'm not saying not as much, but we always heard those rumors that Vince was going to offer guys more money if they were offered contracts and all that. And I'm sure they offered him. If it was about money, I'm sure Vince could pay him more money if he wanted to keep it. But yeah, like you said, he's not happy. So I don't think it's about the money. So AEW is here, so that means they can offer more money. It's I don't think it's about the money with Dean Ambrose. Like you said, he saves money.
It's not. That's not why he's leaving. It's not the money. He's not happy.
You said they can offer him money though. You said that's why he's going to go to AEW, because they can offer him all this money.
No, because they can offer him the same amount as money as WWE can. I don't think Impact could offer him a lot of money to have him join the company. Is what I'm saying. I don't think Impact has that type of financial giveaway where they can just all out and give Dean Ambrose however much money that they feel like he deserves. AEW can offer him a good amount of money and probably book him and use him the correct way. And Impact, maybe that's just not his cup of tea, but we could be wrong. Maybe he joins Impact. But I feel like AEW right now, with all the talk, with all the popularity, with Jericho jumping on board, it's just I would be absolutely shocked if Dean Ambrose didn't go to AEW.
He probably will, but I'm just saying I don't think it's just the reason he left is just because of AEW. I think he could have left anyway.
I don't think he would. I just don't feel like he would. I that's my opinion. I just don't feel like he would make the jump out of leaving the WWE to go somewhere else where it's not a very
even if you're not happy.
No, and how many times have people stayed with the WWE and they're not truly happy? Tons of people. That's true, Bob Ruski. Well, Impact were willing to spend their wallets on Jericho and Omega. That's absolutely true. So I could be
and they would have had to.
I could be totally wrong on this. And
that's very true too.
Maybe he does, go to Impact. It's a possibility. What do I know? I'm just trying to make my own opinion here, and I just feel like if AEW wasn't in the mix, and Cody Rhodes, who's probably friends with Dean Ambrose, I don't see why he wouldn't jump over on that company. Thank you again, everybody, for retweeting the product. We do appreciate everybody who came in here and popped in with us and the Super Hearts as well. Go ahead, Dave.
The only thing I would see that would be in Impact's favor would be that they could offer him, but he could come play with his friends, and that'd be about it. Him and Sammy are really good friends, so that'd be the only thing they could offer is hang out with his friends type thing. Maybe that's what he wants to do now. He's made a bunch of money in the WWE, so go hang out and do some stuff with your friends again.
See, DX makes a good point. It says, to be honest, ever since the whole Stone Cold podcast saying negative things about Dean, he went downhill. Bob Ruski said he was exposed. The reports are they offered him more money to stay. Bob Ruski says the hokey shit is not that's what Dean Ambrose is tired of. I mean, remember when could New Japan be an option? I don't see why not. I'm just not sure about how he feels about traveling and being away from Renee like that. I wouldn't see why not, but that's another company to think about as well. So I can all remember when we thought, Dean Ambrose is, we're getting this, Dean Ambrose is coming back, and then he gets the heel turn, and I remember everybody maybe not hated him, but was pretty much upset with Dean Ambrose, especially the timing of when he did it and all of this stuff. And now he wins, the title, and then they started shitting on the heel character where he's getting flu shots and he's coming out with a mask on. It seemed like WWE didn't know what to do with him, and they never seemed to know what to do with him. He was always the odd man out of the Shield. It was only Rollins and Reigns. Ambrose was always the ugly stepchild that never really got to do anything. He had his little run on SmackDown, but nobody really remembers it. And
yeah, that was his best stuff, honestly. About that Shield stuff. It was when he was by himself on SmackDown.
Exactly, away from Rollins and Reigns, where he was in the background, where he wasn't really cared about. It seems like that's the problem with Dean Ambrose, is that WWE, once the Shield broke up, it was more, let's see what we can do with Reigns, let's see what we can do with Rollins, because they have the look, apparently. I'm not sure what look they're looking for, but it looks like those two guys were the two guys that they wanted to concentrate the most out of the three. Dean Ambrose moves on to SmackDown. He has that world title run. He's having a pretty good run on SmackDown to where we were kind of upset that they moved him back to Raw. And then we get the Shield reunion, and it still seemed kind of forced, and it never really panned out because Reigns got hurt that one time, or he got sick. It just never seemed to be clicking between the WWE and Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose lives and is a edgier character who I don't think really they can use like probably Dean wants them to use him as in the family PG era. Maybe if he moves to like an Impact or to an AEW or even New Japan, I'm sure he'll be able to bring that Jon Moxley type of character back out to the world. But it just seems like he was kind of handcuffed a lot with the Dean Ambrose character.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, totally agree. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with him. People can say it's going to be at work or not. Well, we'll find out in April. If he leaves, he's gone.
Now, everybody in the chat room here, let's do a
At all.
percentage wise. We do the little percentage game. We got the press release by the WWE, but it could be a smokescreen. More than likely, it's not. Percentage wise, what do you think the odds of Dean Ambrose leaving WWE come the day after WrestleMania?
I don't know if that's when this contract's up, but I know it's in April. But I mean, it just depends on whatever it is. I mean, I think it's really high. Why else would it be put out there like this? I mean, if it wasn't true. But just to say, hey, look, we lied to you guys. John Moxley's really staying. He's coming back as John Moxley, not Dean Ambrose. I mean, I think it's really high. I mean, I would
No,
say
I don't know much about Moxley. I'm not gonna sugarcoat and lie about that. I'm just 99% says JT. I the
yeah.
funny thing was Bill Apter. Everybody knows the legendary Bill Apter is. He thinks this is a work because he feels like if it wasn't a work, they wouldn't have announced it like they did because they don't really do this for anybody. And that's the number one question in my head. Why would WWE go out of their way to already wish him good luck on the future, already announced that he's not going to resign in April? It's not like he's leaving tomorrow. It's in April. That's the weird thing out of it.
Well, maybe it's because they're pissed off. You know, maybe it's because it's fine. He wants to leave, fine, let him leave. We'll even confirm. Maybe he pissed it. He said, no, I'm not staying. Maybe it's one of those negotiation things where he's like, I'm leaving. I'm not staying. No matter what you guys do, I'm leaving. And maybe it's one of those where they were just like, fine, you want to leave? Fine. We're going to publicly say it. You know, I mean, because if you don't publicly say it, then you don't have to really show everyone what you're doing. But by publicly say it, you kind of put yourself out there. Or maybe it was already leaked by somebody, and so they had
Red
to say
Sox
it.
said maybe he told him that he's going to go home and sit out his contract.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
That's
a good point. That's a very good point. Now, I know a lot of people are worried about Renee Young and saying if Dean leaves,
oh my God,
does Renee Young leave? I don't see Renee Young being in any type of what's the word I'm looking for? To be worried about. She has nothing to be worried about, because what I've read is that Renee Young's very liked in backstage, and even if she does leave the WWE, there's many other opportunities that Renee Young could eventually go to. I think she came from a sports show in Canada, so it's not like she can't just do anything else as a host. I wouldn't worry so much about Renee Young, and that's what everybody's kind of putting into play is that if Renee Young is staying, then okay, Dean Ambrose is going to stay as well. And that's not the case. Just because you're husband and wife doesn't necessarily mean that they have to stay together in a working capacity. Dean Ambrose can do whatever wants to do, and Renee Young could stay with the WWE.
It happens all the time. It's happened before, too. Different wrestlers can have families with other companies. I mean, it's not that big of a deal or that much of a stretch.
Bob Ruski says 65, Red Sox high as fuck, 95%, 60%. Only if Renee goes too, she would be she'd be bitter on the mic. You think she'd be bitter on the mic? I don't know. I don't know how she would be with Dean Ambrose gone. The number one question I have, Keller reported it and then it was out in a press release. I saw that Dave Meltzer, when I got off work, I looked on my Twitter account and funny thing, Brandon Apter, he texted me and he showed me the tweet that Dave Meltzer was responding to, and it was about Dean Ambrose leaving after WrestleMania, and it was by Wade Keller. And I was like, it's those rumors. We've heard tons of rumors about people leaving and coming back, and they eventually stayed. Daniel Bryan is one of them. And then when you get the press release, it's like...
But they did announce it, though, with Daniel Bryan. Like, announced Daniel Bryan's leaving, type thing.
Yeah, no, then I said, then they threw out the press release, and it's like, okay, all right, this is real. This is no speculation anymore. The real question is how they're going to treat Ambrose now till his release. And I mean the fans, because I'm wondering if... you would have to believe that the fans are going to get behind Dean Ambrose. They're going to cheer for him. They're going to want him to stay. for the most part. The WWE fans, that is. It's just, how are they going to book him? Are they going to keep Dean Ambrose off TV? They to me, kind of teased two storylines last night between him and Triple H, and then him and fucking Nia Jax. So it's just
no. Could this be Could this be their way of kind of releasing this publicly to maybe get fans on board for Dean to stay? So maybe he does change his mind. Could this be their way of kind of negotiating a little bit since it still is 2 months?
That could be it, but I just don't feel like that would work at all. Let's go to the chat real quick before we move on from Dean Ambrose, because I didn't want to. I can go on hours talking about Dean Ambrose and how he was misused. Because his wife is still employed at WWE, they need to maintain a relationship. That's not true. Renee Young can still have a great relationship with the WWE, even though her husband is gone. And it's not like he's quitting. He gave them the proper notice that he wasn't going to resign. Keller reported it, then it was out in a press release. She'll pull an AJ Lee and leave with him, says Truth and Loyalty. I think ESPN wanted to hire her at one point. See, there you go. That's another possibility.
Well, they already have who is it, Dasha? Charlie works at ESPN part-time too.
So that's a possibility. She is bad on the mic already. Now she would be bitter too. If she wasn't a girl, Vince would fire her. God damn. Or maybe Meltzer or whatever. They're the same shit. I think Keller was the one that was reporting it. Someone asked Meltzer about it, and he was responding to it, is what I saw. Heard he's doing house shows. Yes, maybe so that's how they're going to do it, to where he's kept off TV and he's just going to continue doing the house shows with the WWE, which is possible. The real question is, Rousey better on cutting promo or shoot? Me think shoot. Yes, we'll touch on Rousey in just a few minutes. Could he end his Dean Ambrose contract and resign under a new gimmick name? I think he's going to have to be a new name once he leaves the WWE. I'm pretty sure Ambrose and Dean Ambrose
just go back to
WWE.
He'll just go back to John Moxley.
Dean's not even on the internet, so we can't find out shit from him. Yeah. The one thing that Brandon After did mention to me, and I was like, you know what? This is a great point. Is anybody really going to care when Ambrose leaves? Because you know who's speculated to return when Ambrose is supposed to leave? And who's probably going to overshadow his departure? Kevin Owens.
Who?
Sami Zayn. Those guys are reportedly supposed to come back the night after WrestleMania. So people may fucking say, oh, God, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Oh, okay.
Dean Ambrose is leaving. But we're getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back. Let's go. Let's do this. Red Sox fan says Ziggler contract up on Thursday and Nakamura in February. Guys are leaving. I don't know about Nakamura. That's the only one I'm up in the air on. You see what happened to him at the Rumble, and then you're thinking, okay, he's staying, and then you get to see what happens to him tonight, and you're like, fuck it, he's leaving, and then now he looks like he's going to be established into a new tag team all of a sudden. I don't know what the hell's up with Nakamura. That's another weird question. Ziggler, I could see leaving. I don't think there's anything else Ziggler can do, honestly. They're not going to give him another world title run. They're not going to do anything real serious with with Dolph Ziggler. So if he wants to move on to possibly AEW or just continue doing maybe his comedy act full time, I could totally see it. And I don't think it would matter to WWE fans much, because I don't think there's too many Ziggler fans anymore. Which is a shame, because Ziggler is a damn good wrestler, and I think nobody really gave him a legit shot. And when he did, he got hurt.
They'll push.
Dean's not even. Yeah, I saw that. I'm thinking an Ambrose rebelling against the WWE, specifically Triple H storyline is brewing. Okay, that's another thing that could possibly happen. JT said maybe they want to put fan pressure on him to stay and are playing the nice guy, wishing him luck. That's another one. That's very true. Very, very true, JT. I actually agree with you on that. Let's see what else we have. What happened on SmackDown? We'll get to that Red Sox fan in just a minute. So no Rusev Day anymore. Nope, they turned Rusev Hill all of a sudden now. Thank you, Young Graf, for the super heart. Appreciate that. Again, thank you, everybody.
They did that a lot this week.
Joining us tonight. If you haven't already, we're on Twitch as well. We got 3 viewers watching us on Twitch, and we're on YouTube as well. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. And don't forget, while everybody's here, Friday we will be doing another co-streaming with Impact Wrestling, everybody. So hope you guys can pop on with us on Friday night. We did it on last Friday. It was pretty fun. So we're going to do another one on Friday. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But Friday, it seems to be on for Impact Wrestling. All right, so you ready to jump into some Raw action, Dave?
Yeah, I guess I drove that. Yeah.
All right, so we had Seth Rollins open up Monday Night Raw. He did the old point to the WrestleMania sign, and he's talking about how he's having a tough decision, or he can't decide who he wants to face at WrestleMania. Does he want to face Brock? Does he want to face Daniel Bryan? And I'm thinking to myself, Seth Rollins, how is this a hard decision when you've been calling out Brock for the last couple of months? But he's still, I don't know who I want to face. So then we get Triple H. Triple H ends up coming out and kind of summarize what happened. He said, basically, Seth, I'm going to give you to the end of the night, and you have to choose on who you want to face, either Brock Lesnar or Daniel Bryan. They're both going to be in the ring, and you're going to have to decide at the end of the night. And that's when we got Dean Ambrose coming down and says that this makes him sick and says he'll always believe in Seth while Triple H never did. Dean calls Seth a suck up and a kiss ass. Says Seth has never beaten him without any help, fair and square, and challenges Seth to a match. And that's when Triple H is about to walk out of the ring. And Dean stops him and says if Triple H needs permission from his father-in-law, which, got the crowd going. And I'm thinking, holy crap, are we going to possibly see a feud get, start brewing here between Triple H and Dean Ambrose? Because, we just got the news that Triple H is, I think he's cleared now maybe to get into some physical action. And by April, WrestleMania, I could definitely see him in a match, possibly. I don't know about now, but thinking, oh man, I would dig that. So we got the Rollins and Ambrose match. Rollins, gets the win, of course. And Dean Ambrose is not too happy. He's sitting in the ring after the match, sitting in a chair, and it looks like he might be kind of making the announcement that he made today, which was he's going to leave the WWE. And we get Nia Jax coming out and Tamina. And they end up pushing him out of the ring, and the referees have to restrain Dean as Nia is basically daring him to get back into the ring. So let's get to this question first and foremost. I know Dean is suspected to leave. Do you think they're going to go the route with Nia Jax and Dean Ambrose?
Though that little interview he had afterwards, Raw, I mean, it seems like it because the way he said, like, what is she doing? She's pushing me. She must have just been, she was yelling at me, apologizing because she doesn't want nothing of me. She's like, come on, why would she? She's a girl. Type, they're playing up that war. I'm a man. Women don't belong in the ring of the man, type thing. That's what they're pushing up. And I'm not saying anything wrong with listening to a girl or anything like that, but is that the way they honestly send Dean Ambrose out with having him lose a match to Nia Jax? I mean, I'm not saying it'd be bad, but I mean, I don't know. It would look kind of bad that they would do that. Yeah.
That would be bad. I'd agree with you on that. Like, there's no reason for Dean Ambrose to lose to Nia Jax. I get it. She's huge. She's big. But Dean Ambrose should, handle her within seconds. But I'm going to go to the chat room. Is that a match that you'd want to see at WrestleMania? Would you want to see an intergender match? And I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on,
Look, it
on
can be done good. But
yeah, we've seen mostly a lot of intergender matches go on in the indie scene. And yeah, you get those over-the-top matches. I forgot who it was. I think it was Riddle.
Joey Ryan.
And
Joey Ryan does those.
I can't remember who it was, but
Joey Ryan and Candice. Yeah,
we've seen intergender matches, and we've seen them done fine. We haven't seen them over the top to where it's kind of like, oh, okay. With Nia and her size, she's probably the most believable wrestler that they have that can, and other than maybe Rousey, that can go up there and step up to a man, or Becky Lynch if you want to go the man route. I don't know if I want to see her go against Dean Ambrose out of all the people. It seemed like she would have more of a beef with maybe Randy Orton.
And then they would use that, that? And then they would use the whole thing like, oh, Nia, I just beat Dean Ambrose, and he ran away. He left the WWE because I beat him.
Yep.
They would use that, and it would be like they would use that just take shots at Dean Ambrose over and over and over.
I can see that. I wouldn't run out. Wouldn't think past that happening. Definitely, I could definitely see um them throwing shots at Dean Ambrose after Nia Jax would probably beat him and get him to leave the WWE. So I can see that. Or do you think maybe they go a different route and maybe do a Dean Ambrose and Triple H and kind of
he's definitely losing that match
and get this contract, him leaving, kind of get into the mix of the storyline?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? He might not even be on the WrestleMania card. Like, they could just have him disappear from TV at all, period. We'll find out next week, but I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Raw this coming week.
Like also what Red Sox fans said, too. He could possibly just sit out Raw tapings and just only show up for house shows. So
yeah, that's very possible. They could book him just on house shows. Or we find out he's wrestling in the main event.
They're talking about some intergender matches in here. Nia Jax is rehashing the China storyline. It's so old. Hey, what's up, Kenobi? I saw your comment that you just came back from SmackDown Live. Did you enjoy it, my friend? You went to Royal Rumble. I think you went to TakeOver, Raw, and SmackDown. That's quite a weekend. Mia Yim, Keith Lee, Bob Ruski says now fans.
Hey, Tessa Blanchard, Cage. Remember?
Red Sox said fuck that. Tessa versus Cage. Career on the line match, says Bob Ruski. That's another way they could possibly go, even though it'd kind of be obvious that Dean would lose. Triple H versus Dean in a career match is the only thing that would make sense to me, says Truth and Loyalty.
Really, because we know he's leaving. We already know he's leaving, so why would it make sense?
What if he? That's true. But maybe by the time comes along, they'll rehash things and he'll win. Maybe, I don't know.
No, if Triple H wins, he has to stay, and if Dean wins, he can leave. I mean,
there you go. I hit the 4 shows in a row, and I'm tired. Yeah, you're gonna be tired, bro. You're gonna probably want to take a break from wrestling for the rest of the week. But man, I'm sure it was a great experience. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Dean, Seth Rollins, Dean, and Triple H if this goes anywhere, which I don't think it will.
What did you think of? What did everyone think of? Even you, Tony. What did you guys think about the cry fest between Triple H and Seth Rollins? Like, man, I'm gonna cry. I'm so proud of you, man.
It was like father son, Dave. Come on now.
It was like so corny. I mean, like, man, I'm crying because you get to point at the sign now. Yay!
Oh, we'll get to corny here.
I dreamed of pointing at the sign.
So we had the beginning of women's 3 H's to AEW. Yeah, right. We had finally women qualifying matches starting on Raw, even though on SmackDown Live we did not get any. They just declared that they're going to be in the fucking match. We had Alexa Bliss and Mickie James take on shitty ass Tamina and Nia Jax.
Ouch.
Man, Tamina is fucking garbage, dude.
I would go the other way on that, but okay.
No! No. Tamina is shit, man. She is so bad.
Nia Jax is good?
Oh, that's a good point,
JT. Come on.
JT England made a good point in the chat room. I saw this late. He said, isn't that how they sent Jeff Jarrett out, losing to China? Yes, they did. That's a very good point, JT. I didn't even think about that. Wow. You got your mind going tonight. That's very, very good. I really like that. Ronda gonna take that break and Brock UFC. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. They were crying because of the kid with cancer in the front row too. Just saying. Oh, okay.
No, they didn't say nothing about a kid with cancer. What are you talking about? That had nothing to do with the story.
A Triple H storyline mixed in real life, leaving WWE is more likely. Triple H nicknamed the Stooge on AEW. Tamina has bad knees. Okay, well then she just needs to go then because she's awful. And I don't mean to be.
Damn.
She's awful, man. And
I don't think she's awful. I don't think she's ever get a fair break either.
That too, but she's just bad. Every time I see her in the ring, I just cringe. What's up, Too Sweet? How you doing? What's up, Richie? How you doing tonight as well? SmackDown only has 2 hours. Raw has 3, so no put your hair up and square up. That's true. And they don't really have much of a women's division to have a tag team qualifying.
They didn't have a women's match tonight, did they?
No, they didn't. They did not. So Nia Jax and Tamina run through Alexa and Mickie James. And Nia and Tamina will be going on to Elimination Chamber to fight for the women's tag team titles. Do you have any thoughts on that, Dave? And we'll continue on.
It's gonna be interesting. Mandy and Sonya better watch out because you might have like 4 girls after you in that chamber.
Let's see. Hold up. Is Alexa and Mickey a face now? I'm not sure, but Alexa Bliss got a nice a round of applause or a nice pop last night on Raw. So
I bet she did.
Hey, thank you, Lala in LA. Appreciate the super hearts. Thank you. Really do appreciate all the hearts and the shares and the retweets on Twitter.
She should just leave. You know what? Alexa Bliss should just go back to SmackDown, honestly.
I'm not sure what they're going to do with Alexa Bliss. There's not really much more for her to do on Raw, and she already
isn't.
And it seems like
no one's winning that title as long as she's champion.
The Moment of Bliss tag team talk show seems like it's going nowhere. So yeah, let's go to a funny segment though. Kurt Angle is interviewed backstage, and they're talking about Corbin costing.
How is this funny?
And they're asking Kurt Angle about the match he was humiliated against Drew McIntyre, and he's just sitting there like reflecting. And then all of a sudden they show clips of him getting his ass beat by McIntyre. I just thought that was funny. But it ends up Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Corbin wins, but you did make a good point. I saw on your tweet on Twitter. Is it possible that we see Baron Corbin and McIntyre team up to take on Kurt Angle and John Cena at WrestleMania?
Huh? You mean Strowman?
Or Strowman, that could also work.
But, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing about John Cena.
No, but I know. I'm just saying
Corbin.
Because John Cena and Drew McIntyre's kind of feud and beef.
Oh,
maybe Kurt brings in John because he wasn't on WrestleMania last year. Remember, he said it this year. I'm gonna be on the WrestleMania card. I'm not gonna be in the crowd this time. Could Kurt Angle possibly do that? Because he lost to Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad. I feel bad what they're doing to Kurt Angle right now. Yes, I know he booked stuff. He wanted to do the stuff with Mac. I get it. But it's like, it's almost sad watching, watching a guy like Kurt Angle who was so great at one time, just have him come in and just basically lose every single match like he's a shell of what he used to be,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel sad watching. Well. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it's just like sad watching him out there. It's like, man, I really love Kurt Angle, one of my favorites, and now it's like comes back to the WWE, and it's like just a couple of years ago he was like this big star in TNA and even on the Indies when his retirement tour, and then he was killing some classic matches, and now all of a sudden he comes to WWE. It's like he forgot to. It's like the matches are nowhere near what they were just a couple of years ago. I mean, it's just
Richie, that's also another possibility that they could do is have Strowman and Angle team up as well because we did see McIntyre and Corbin attack Strowman after McIntyre and Strowman's match as well.
And that'd be a way to use Kurt Angle so he's not looking like so, I don't want to say helpless, and he just looks so bad out there by himself. Maybe you put him with Corbin, put him with Strowman, and at least he can tag in and out, type thing.
Get that hot
dog. It wouldn't be as bad.
Does anyone know how many words Tamina has spoken in the last 10 years being on the roster? Very, very, very slim words. She doesn't speak very much. She just kind of yells and does her work in the ring. Tamina. Let's see what else do we have in the chat. That happens to all old wrestlers when they should have retired and keep going. Yeah. Angle just doesn't look... His German suplexes just look awful. It looks like he could barely pick up the guy now, so... I don't want to be negative towards Kurt Angle because I like Kurt Angle a lot, but you could tell he struggles in that ring right now. And WWE fans wonder why guys want to leave the WWE. Yeah, I don't wonder why. For the most part, I understand why they want to leave. It's just weird how they announced it.
Well, you're so micromanaged everything. I'm not saying it's all Kurt Angle either. I'm sure he can still go out and have a good match in the right situation. But to me, it's the way W micromanages everything. It's like everything to a T, and they don't let guys go out there and kind of sink or swim like they used to.
When WWE came 2 weeks ago, he had a match with Corbin, and even that match wasn't that great. He just doesn't look like he has it anymore.
Kurt Angle?
Yeah, he looks like he can barely pick up the guys. It just doesn't look like the Kurt Angle of what we used to see. And I know it's Kurt Angle's age and all that stuff, but it just doesn't look good when he's in the ring and he could barely pick up a guy like Corbin to do a.
Well, speaking of old guys coming in the ring and trying to do stuff, we don't talk. What segment you want to go next? You want to talk about that probably most entertaining segment for me anyway?
No. We'll
Which was the Elias stuff.
We'll get there because next
Okay.
we had Mr. Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, confront Finn Balor last night. Finn Balor comes out to the ring and says he's not making no excuses for his loss last night. Says he's hurt, but he's standing here with his head held high, and said that Brock had to do what he did last night because he believed. He believed that Balor could beat him, and that's when we get Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley interrupting Finn Balor and says it's a disgrace that Finn even got a shot at Lesnar. Says Finn wouldn't stand a snowball chance in hell that he can beat Bobby. And Lio says the beating that he took last night is nothing compared to the beating Bobby Lashley is going to give him. And that's when Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush attack him and lay out Finn Balor. So it looks like we got our new feud now with Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley. And
but you might have forgot to mention. Oh,
no, go ahead. Finish.
I was just gonna say that you might have forgot to mention something.
What's that?
Because Lio Rush said this. He says Bobby Lashley is faster, stronger, and better than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, they've been really teasing up that too as well. And if anybody doesn't follow Lio Rush as well on Instagram, he does a lot of Instagram lives. And a lot of people are asking, when is Bobby Lashley going to win the World Championship? And he said, you haven't heard of Plan B? And Plan B was Balor, then Brock. So maybe after he runs through Balor, maybe there's a possibility we get Brock Lesnar. Oh, I dropped my iPad. And Lashley somewhere down the line in the future, because that's a match that I want to see. And they've been teasing it up a lot lately. It's just really weird. Bobby sure looks more fit than Brock. No gut. Yeah, no gut. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
That would be interesting to see how that went. It really would be interesting. But yeah, this was kind of like, I guess maybe Dean's going to win the IC title now, type thing. Maybe they'll go there. Or not Dean, but Finn.
I think Finn's going to end up winning it.
I
put out a tweet about Finn Balor possibly defeating Bobby Lashley, and that tweet just blew up. So a lot of people want to see Bobby Lashley lose and have Finn Balor win, it seems like.
Next
we
why
had
you do
the
it. And that's
Revival
why you win.
Hawkins and Ryder. The Revival get the win. Nothing really much to talk about there. But we did.
Good to see them back together. I like that.
Lashley not doing the butt anymore now that he has the belt. Finally, Bobby saw that. But Finn said that Bobby got eliminated in 12 seconds. Yeah, that was a good line. He got him there. That is definitely true. The dark match was even rough to watch Kurt. Oh, wow. Kurt had a dark match too? Most of the new guys aren't really good. What new guys are you talking about? Bobby versus Lesnar in UFC or Bellator or anything else, I don't give a fuck, says Red Sox fan. I want Brock versus Bobby in an MMA style match for the belt. That would be I think Bobby Lashley could beat Brock Lesnar in an MMA match, in a UFC fight. I really do. I think he's a lot quicker.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Could be stronger, but he's definitely quicker than Brock. I think he could take Brock down.
Could Swagger take Brock right now?
No. I think Brock's way more experienced than Jack right now. Maybe a couple. Yeah, I don't. Maybe less. I think a couple of years now. Maybe we get Swagger. Maybe Lashley. That would be good in a Bellator octagon type of situation. All right, let's just move on. We had your most entertaining spot of the night apparently, which was Elias coming down, and Elias is officially turned heel. Everyone. He said that he gave the fans a chance and they let him down. He said the fans should be on their feet, giving him a standing ovation every time that he comes out. And he says that it's too late. And Elias agrees and says he will never write songs for them again. They are only for him. He tells them to shut their mouths, and he's about to sing a song. And that's when we get Jeff Jarrett coming out and interrupting him again. Calls him slap nuts and says Elias has a problem with him. Road Dogg comes out next. And they start singing. Alone with My Baby Tonight. I felt like I was watching a 1999 special on Raw with Jeff Jarrett and the Road Dogg together singing. And then we get
that one part was
Elias
funny
and
though.
Jeff in an altercation, and he hits him with a guitar, and I don't know what the hell they're doing here. It seems like with
Yeah, either,
Elias,
but
they never want to give Elias a serious feud. It's
yeah,
always against these Hall of Famers. It's always against these old guys that they line up Elias with, and that's it. With Elias, you
yeah. At one
almost had
part,
something going. You know, you had him feuding for the IC title. You actually had him kind of getting into feuds. But it seems like with everything that they do with Elias, it always turns back to the veterans and the Hall of Famers that he's teamed and partnered up with. Am I right on that?
yeah, you are. I mean, one part I'll talk about with this whole thing is I did enjoy it. Is when the crowd started chanting "Holy shit!" and Road Dogg's like, "No, you can't say it's PG and make it louder." And so that part was funny. And then them singing was kind of cool too. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was entertaining because I didn't see this coming. So I thought this part was. You didn't enjoy this segment, or you just thought it was too?
I just thought it was
You didn't
kind
need
of.
it.
I didn't think it was needed. Look.
I thought it was kind of
I like
entertaining.
Jarrett. I like Road Dogg. What they did in the past is fine. But do we seriously need to? That segment took away from probably something else we could have seen. It
It was
so
nostalgia.
it was so fucking random. It was just
Yeah.
random. I get it. He threw him out of the ring at the Royal Rumble, hit him with the guitar and all that. But it was just so random to have Elias now all of a sudden seemingly feuding with fucking Jeff Jarrett, who could barely even go anymore. Like
I
seriously.
wonder who works this stuff out backstage. You know, like who's in charge of keeping Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett away from each other? Because they're like on the show tonight, which is
Oh,
weird.
I'm sure
Last night.
those bridges have burned already. Let's see. Maybe a UFC WWE work together, Universal Champion MMA fight. Brock's a beast in the octagon. I know he is. Solid 2 months of being a face for Elias. Didn't he already do this stick? Jeff Jarrett still looks good for his age. I heard Elias' heel turn happened at the Road. Yes, but it was kind of officially made Monday night that he was definitely a heel now. For fuck's sakes, new era. Yeah, new era. No, the funny
New
thing,
era slash old
we'll get
era.
into that. Good luck with WWE with Jeff Jarrett. That's what Double J should have came out to at the Rumble. Yes, I agree with you on that. Renee should never dance and sing. Yes.
I wish he would have came out to like his WCW stuff instead of that corny Jeff Jarrett's crap. I thought when he said slap not to say, oh, that's kind of cool. It reminds me of his WCW days type thing. If he would have came out with like the whole slap nut shirt and type thing, but yeah, I think this character is always so corny as hell.
That promo really made an impact. Yes, that's very. I like that. So who else comes back to the company that swears they never would? Yeah, very true. Well, but at least AAA is saved from seeing Jeff Jarrett throw out tacos to fans.
Oh man, that stuff in Mexico was funny. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I'm glad we got the old Elias back because I've been ranting and talking to you guys on the last couple of weeks since he's turned face that I do not like him as a heel. He doesn't come off as as a face. He doesn't come off as organic as he does as a heel. The heel gimmick for Elias is perfect. He plays it up so well, especially when he does it with the crowd. But it just seems like when he's a heel, they always put these vets, these Hall of Famers, these old guys to eventually match up with him and then get over on him. That's the only thing I like. Remember what I told y'all guys. 2019 will be a down year for Elias. And I feel like it's coming up to where they don't know what else to do with him. And he's going to be that guy to get the crowd going. And then the face comes out and beats him up and the crowd loves him.
You also called something else this year. You have a good year, which we'll talk about on SmackDown. So yeah.
Yeah, I called out. Two things on SmackDown.
Yeah, you said somebody would be a champion in 2019.
Yeah,
and lo and behold, they are.
Hey, Elias on the pre-show at Mania, more than likely. Thank you guys for moderating the chat, guys. Appreciate that. Welcome, KelB93 for your first day on Periscope. Thank you for joining us. What else happened on Raw last night? Let me pull it up again. We're getting to the random tag team of Natalya and Dana Brooke taking on the Riot Squad. Riot Squad get the win. They'll move on to the Elimination Chamber, but it's not with Ruby. It's with Sarah Logan and Sarah Logan. I said Sarah Morgan. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan.
That is strange.
Do you think it should have been Ruby involved, or do you think it's okay with? Because weren't Liv and Sarah kind of an official tag team already?
I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. It's just strange because nothing against the other two, but when you see the Riot Squad, you want to see. It's kind of strange. It's like, you want to see the main person in the group. Like Ruby's the main. No, I like Liv. She's great, but you want to see Ruby in there too. I think you don't just want to see like the other two. And just like next week's random tag team, what the hell? I'm going to talk about this. I'm sorry. Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross? Where the hell did that come from?
That makes sense, though, if you think about it. They're both fucking crazy.
How?
They're both crazy. That's what makes it.
Yeah, but that's just a random team.
Natalya and Dana Brooke makes no
fucking sense. And they're not going to win.
Because Dana Brooke is a heel, for one. And no, DX, she's not a face.
So is Natalya, kind of.
Because she came up to Natalya and she's like, I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's strange.
And then they want to have them be a legit tag team, And then
she's like, I'm sorry we lost. I'm sorry.
So maybe the Riot Squad maybe do the whole kind of the New Day shtick where all three of them can be in the in the tag team match. Maybe Ruby Riot is in the tag match instead of Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan, however have you. But
so is that already your pick? They're gonna win it all?
No, that's not my pick yet. I got to see who else is in it. But it's just it was just odd to have Natalya and Dana Brooke. But Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox, yes, probably not the best tag team tandem, but at least that makes sense. Natalya and Dana Brooks makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Natalya and Rousey, yes. Natalya and Dana Brooke, no. At least with Nikki Cross and Alicia, they're both fucking crazy in the head. So it works that way. So
it's not going to be Bayley and Sasha. I mean, come on.
No doubt. They're going to lose to Bayley and Sasha. But at least that tag team makes sense. Let's see what's going on in the chat room.
It's just random as hell.
It is random. All these women tag teams are going to be random. What's up with Liv Morgan and doing the tongue thing? She talked about it before. I don't know the exact reason why she does it. Anytime Dana Brooke is on TV, it's well worth it, Tony. Hey, I
know it's not. It's well not worth it.
I think Sarah Logan is a sleeper of the Riot Squad. Natalya needs to retire to Total Divas now. Damn. I think it's Natalya's time to kind of hang up the boots. I agree with you on that. No disrespect to her, though. Tony, didn't you hear that the tag team was to have Moon, but Dana replaced her? Oh, that's true. That is very true.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, okay.
Moon got hurt in the Royal Rumble, and she has to have surgery. Right. That's true. That's a good point.
It's been a long time.
Psycho bitches, says Bob Ruski. That is very true. I am not a Jinx Red Sox fan. My Jinx stuff is over with. Remember, Balor is having a pretty good year. I think my Jinx is over. Are they going to do the Freebird? That's what I'm thinking. They'll do the Freebird rule with the Riot Squad if they win. But let's get to what was the talk of the night on Monday Night Raw, which was Ronda Rousey coming out and having an open challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. And she kind of, let's get to the opening promo to where she basically kind of got the lesser version of the Roman Reigns treatment, to where the fans were just giving it to her, booing her, not really liking what she was saying, and you could tell she was fumbling over her promo script. She couldn't remember what she had to say. Evan at one point just stopped what she was doing and started twiddling the microphone because you could tell she was trying to think of what she had to say. And Bayley came to the rescue. Thank God Bayley came out when she did to save her from that promo, because she was sinking in water right there. The fans had her in the palm of their hands, and she was really feeling it. Bayley comes out, and they have their one-on-one match, which wasn't the best match, but you could tell the fans were in Ronda's head. You could tell that something was wrong in that match. It wasn't the best match between Bayley and Bayley and Ronda. Could have been a lot better.
The first only one.
No, we're going to touch on that, DX. It wasn't I'm just saying it could have been a lot better, especially seeing who she was against with Bayley.
Hey, Bayley can't do everything.
Exactly.
Bayley can't make her look good.
Exactly.
Not everyone can make her look good.
Now, after the match, we have Ronda going up to Bayley, and she's going to shake her hand, and that's when we get, the man come out, and Becky Lynch comes out. And boy,
did you see that?
Oh boy, yeah, they flashed the 4 horsemen thing to each other. They didn't catch Bayley.
They didn't show it on TV. They didn't show it on TV. It was online. I seen someone.
They only got Becky doing it, but they didn't catch Bayley, which was a shame. But
because they got Bayley online, someone tweeted it out.
But Becky says she will break Ronda's mystique, beat Ronda, and take her title. Ronda tells her she doesn't want to just beat Becky. She wants to beat the best version of Becky. Ronda says she has the ability to destroy her with her bare hands. Ronda reminds Becky that she was on the pre-show at WrestleMania while Ronda was headlining the show. Ronda says she will put
stealing the show, according to her.
She will put Becky down and tear her apart at WrestleMania. Now,
and she can kill her if she wanted to.
Okay. Why can't we get more of that type of Ronda Rousey? Let her go off script. Let her be that pissed off Ronda that we saw in the UFC where she's not remembering lines and trying to do that shit. If we get the serious side, that serious side of Ronda last night was great. We need more of that.
You know what this reminds me of Rock and Triple H, because when Triple H would go off script a lot, and it's not like Ronda's or like Becky's going off script, but she knows what she's doing. She can deliver it a lot better than Ronda can. So it's kind of like she's making her look bad out there. And I love Becky's just like someone's all pissed off, like, I'm going to kick you, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to kill you, and get all mad. And Becky's just standing there smiling at her, like, okay, whatever. And you can't deny the reaction. People like to hate on Becky and say she's a favorite of the month, but she's still getting those huge pops right now.
Yeah, she's definitely over with the crowd. This is the match everybody wants to see. They want to see Ronda. They want to see Becky Lynch 1-on-1 in a match finally. But the rumors are still speculating that Becky Lynch it's still going to be a triple threat between Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda Rousey. I don't know why. That feud is already through the roof. The fans are already happy. They're excited. The momentum is there. This match can legitimately main event WrestleMania with the type of fire it has behind it. They don't need to add Charlotte just so they can have a little bit more star power in it. I don't see the reason for it. Now, what did you think of the match? What did you think of the promos between Becky Lynch and Ronda? Where Becky Lynch, everybody, decided that she will face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
I loved her shot at Seth Rollins, too. It was just funny. Like, I'm like, Seth, I don't need to think very long. I know what I want. But, yeah. the match wasn't good. I felt bad for Bayley, though, because everyone else gets, like, a big pay-per-view match. She gets stuck on some random Raw match just to, obviously, she's going to lose. So it's like, man, why can't Bayley get that kind of treatment, Well, she gets a big pay-per-view opportunity like everyone else did. So I felt bad for that part. He could be the Dean Ambrose of the 4 Horsewomen. So there you go.
Definitely. I could see that as well. Now.
But the promo, we knew it was coming. We knew Becky was going to, even though they said she was going to do it tomorrow night, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It was nice. Maybe they decided the crowd was going so crazy for Becky, just go ahead and send her out and let her go out there, So just do it now so they can get it. But hopefully Becky's good. Maybe it's a backup plan to throw her in there just in case Becky isn't 100% too, because at her foot, her leg or whatever still looks kind of messed up. So maybe adding Charlotte is a backup plan for this right now.
Yeah, because now they're playing up Becky's hurt and all this shit. It's just weird how they're doing it, and I'm very curious, like I said, how this works out with them, and if they don't need Charlotte to be inserted into this match. And Bob Aruski in the chat says Auska needs a contender. Charlotte is the best, probably the best person that they could put up in this match to where Auska can get her redemption against Charlotte possibly, or Charlotte can become the champion again. You know what I mean?
That'd be stupid. But yeah, I would agree with Charlotte and have Auska beat Charlotte this year, And then Yeah, that would make sense. Charlotte and Auska, but if they're gonna go through a triple threat, which has been rumored,
if they do,
it's been rumored all year.
If they did go triple threat, let's just play devil's advocate. They go triple threat. Who is a solid choice on the SmackDown Live roster that you could put up against Auska? I don't see anybody that would be like,
wow.
I want to see that match. I would want to, Carmella, Naomi.
No, we've seen it. Just for revenge? I mean, I don't know. Who? Lana? I mean, who is
Lana?
there?
Seriously, who could they actually put up against Auska that were like?
I mean, Becky and Charlotte are your two. Yeah, Becky and Charlotte were your two top females, and they could be both going to Raw, and you're like losing two of your top females. That's why, man, I don't know. I mean, Nikki Cross, maybe you have her come up on SmackDown, and then have her maybe challenge Auska. I mean, that would be good.
Mandy Rose.
But you don't think so?
No, I'm just throwing her out. Mandy Rose, maybe.
No, thanks. That'd be terrible.
Lacey Evans.
I just think Nikki Cross. Who?
Lacey Evans.
Oh, Lacey?
Sales Kenobi says a Lacey Evans versus Auska.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be too soon?
Probably a little bit.
No, the reason I say Nikki Cross wouldn't be too soon because they have a history in NXT, so they could relive that. That wouldn't be too terrible because they have history. But to be throwing Lacey Evans in a title match at WrestleMania would be way too soon.
Ruby Riott would be great if she was on. Like a lot of the contenders, legit contenders that could go up against Auska, are on Raw. So it seems impossible for Auska.
Who would you put it against her on Raw?
Bill says Sonya Deville. I wouldn't mind that. If I was going to pick someone for Auska, probably Sasha Banks.
I wouldn't mind that. Didn't they already have that little feud they had on Raw, though, when she was there for a minute? Yeah, but I was thinking, like, someone else, like Ruby Riott and Auska.
Thank you, Adam. Ruby Riott would be great. I absolutely agree with you on that. It just sucks that they're so top
They've had matches before, but yeah.
On the Raw side. They're very top heavy on the Raw side. They got to find a way to get someone from Raw to SmackDown if they do a triple threat. Yeah, absolutely.
They're losing your the two biggest stars on SmackDown for the women's division. Auska or Charlotte. Yeah.
Auska retains the women's title, and she's not even on SmackDown tonight. So
she wasn't on the show.
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't on the show. That's just a shame that she wasn't even on the show tonight. Why not?
How do you have Becky and?
No, unless it's a retirement match. If it's Natalya's last match, that's the only way I could be like, all right, Natalya versus Auska, retirement match. Natalya loses, she has to retire. I would be okay with that match.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone really on SmackDown that's even put her into 4-way because that's the only way it would make any sense. But the Iconics they'll probably be in the Chamber match. So because you got Elimination Chamber, she's gonna defend that.
Well, yeah, I don't think that would work because she's still the champ. I don't know. It's different.
That would be fun, though.
Hell yeah, I would love that. It's just definitely interesting to see. The only reason why I would would want to see the triple threat is because I would like to see who they would replace Charlotte with to face Auska. Who would they bring in? Who would they put against Auska? There's nobody on the SmackDown Live roster that is a big enough contender for Auska right now. Yeah, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville they're coming up. But there's no way they deserve to be. They're not ready to be in that spotlight quite yet. Nikki Bella says DX. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's another one that they could do that.
But to me, the only one they could do right now that would make a lot of sense would be like a Nikki Cross. Because she's not really on one show or the other. So if they are going triple threat, you could easily. I know people might not like Nikki Cross as a contender, but I think she is, and that would be a fun match again for Nikki Cross. But you're right.
DX in the chat said, knowing WWE, Auska won't have a match at WrestleMania.
I'll be on the pre-show.
Yeah, they have an elimination tournament across the entire WWE Women's Division, allowing a crossover. Look, I like that, BJ. Maybe if they say, we're gonna do a Raw and SmackDown tournament or elimination chamber match where the woman gets to go up against Auska, that could work.
They already got 2 matches, chamber matches, so I'm going to do a third one.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be interesting to see what they do if Charlotte is
or they
inserted into
could,
this match.
like you said, or they could take that opportunity at chamber and do like a triple threat or a 4-way at the chamber, and the winner gets a shot at Auska.
Yeah, Shayna, why not her to face Auska? I would love Shayna versus Auska, but I just don't know how they could bring her up in time to really promote that match between her and Auska.
And then it seems like the 4 horsewomen and the 4 horsewomen are going to be all on Raw anyway. And so, I mean, what would be the sense of bringing her and put her on SmackDown if they're just going to do that 4 horsewomen thing on Raw?
Mandy and Sonya attack Auska, then feud got set up in time to put up hair and square up. Maybe they do a fucking handicap match and have Sonya and Mandy face Auska. Ugh. That's all.
And Auska beats him again.
And Auska beats him. But yeah, pretty hot segment.
Maybe they add. Okay, wait a minute. What if they do this? What if they don't have Auska defending the title at the Chamber, and they have Auska and Naomi team up and inside the Chamber match when they're a tag team?
No, I don't want that. I don't want her to be tag champs and a women's title, world's title champion as well.
Yeah, it's possible.
Is there anything else on Raw that there's a possibility?
What about Strowman? Oh, go ahead.
That you would like to talk about? You got Strowman and McIntyre, and then that's when McIntyre.
Yeah, they all jump on and then,
Strowman.
That was his last match, I think. Yeah, and then the Brock stuff afterwards.
Yeah, that was just kind of.
Yeah, what was the point of having Daniel Bryan even there? Okay, someone knew. Daniel Bryan was on Raw.
I think they honestly ran out of time because what happened was Seth Rollins was supposed to come out and announce who he's going to face. Apparently, Brock and Daniel Bryan were supposed to be in the ring at the same time. They're about to announce Seth Rollins, but instead of Seth coming out, it's Brock Lesnar. He comes down to the ring, and Paul Heyman gets on the mic and says this should be the easiest decision of Seth Rollins' life. He says he only has one option, that is to face Daniel Bryan. And that's when Seth Rollins' music hits. He gets into the ring, gets into Brock Lesnar's face, and that's when he starts trying to beat the shit out of him. He attacks Brock, lands a kick to the gut. Seth goes for the curb stomp, but Brock catches him for an F5. He F5s him 5 times, I believe, maybe 4. Lays out Seth Rollins to end the night. Rollins still didn't really officially pick someone, but a couple of minutes later on the WWE's Twitter, they made it official. It'll be Seth Rollins taking on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the Raw Universal Championship. What did you think of the ending to Raw? And did they get you a little bit more excited for this potential match?
No, not at all, really, because it was just the way the whole Raw ended was kind of weird. Because it's like, oh man, that's how you end now? I mean, they should have like a post show or something, because it was just strange. It just ends so quickly because they have to get out so quick now. They have to be done right at 11 o'clock, even though it's a 3-hour show. But when you get these segments and they have to be rushed so quickly, it seems like it didn't really have time to breathe and really do anything, because it was really strange. Because, like you said, they rushed for time, but kind of expecting to see like Daniel Bryan out there, and he goes between the guys and just picks one, I guess. But yeah, oh well, it worked. It happened. I mean, but it is what it is. I thought overall Raw was pretty good, though. It wasn't a bad show. I thought it was entertaining for the most.
Yeah, I thought Raw was pretty solid. It was good for the most part. The Ronda and Becky Lynch segment really had everybody going. Had a couple of decent stuff go on during Raw. But one thing I did mention, and which was funny, it was because Mojo Rawley was on Raw last night.
Oh, wow.
And he's having a conversation with himself, basically blaming himself. He's kind of having some type of weird storyline to where he's blaming himself for why he's been treated the way he has been on Raw. And I tweeted out, wow, this is definitely a new era. Mojo is on Raw. And guess who liked the tweet? I didn't even tag the motherfucker. But Mojo Rawley liked the tweet. So you know what that means, Dave. Mojo Rawley is an official
he's your new favorite wrestler?
He's an official fan of the show. So we're going to try to get Mojo here on the Get the Tables podcast, because we know Mojo Rawley watches. We know another one who watches the show is Mr. Johnny Gargano. Johnny Champion. Johnny Champion has watched our show twice when we have done over 10 NXT TakeOver post shows. So Johnny, here's our invitation. I know you probably won't see this because we're not talking NXT, but you're more than welcome, Johnny, to come on the show and join us live either on a Tuesday or on a Saturday when your schedule's free. Same thing with you, Mojo. I know you watch the show, buddy. There's no reason why you would just like my Twitter account or Twitter out of nowhere. So come on over. Here's our official, invitation to the show. So we hope you come on. Yeah, we like you, Mojo. Here at the Get the Tables, we like you, my friend. But overall,
hey, whoa! Speak for yourself. Hey, Tony does not speak for everyone at Get the Tables.
Hey, you need to calm down.
Mojo, go back to your mirror. Go back to your mirror.
Mojo on the show, man. All right, so calm down there.
Hey, Tony will send you a personalized mirror too.
Yeah, I'll give. Oh yes, exactly. Mojo Rawley has a twin named Jojo Rawley. Don't forget, Taylor Hendricks as well is another fan of the show. We got to get her on the show because for some reason she follows.
She definitely spike up the ratings.
She follows me on Get the Tables and follows me on. Oh, and one more thing. You know who else?
Oh boy,
was our number
Shawn Michaels.
Because on Twitter, there's this like app you can do where you can find out who your number one fan on Twitter was of the week. And guess who was our number one fan on Twitter this week? Can you guess, Dave?
Yeah, I seen you tweet it out, so yes, I can.
It was Miss Scarlett Bordeaux. So, Scarlett, here's another invitation for you to pop on over to the Get the Tables podcast.
Yes. See, and Tony speaks for all of us.
Yeah.
Scarlett is welcome.
We'll have
vegetables. We will have fruit.
Bananas.
Yeah, we do a fruit basket.
We'll have bananas for you and everything, Scarlett. So you're more than welcome to come on the show anytime. Yeah, Scarlett. Yeah, Mrs. Scarlett Bordeaux from Impact Wrestling. She was our number one fan. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So
Killer Cross, please don't kill us.
Right? Yeah. Buy a shirt, Mojo. Yeah. Taylor does follow a lot of wrestling fans on Twitter.
Fans, yeah. She follows me too.
She follows us at Get the Table, so she's more than welcome to pop on at any time. And just saying, you guys are more than welcome to throw her that invite to jump over on the podcast sometime. Overall, you thought Raw was good. Might as well welcome Virgil. Yeah. Hey, why not? Why not?
Mike Jones.
Yes, they can have a free Get the Table, two free Get the Tables t-shirt. Two creepy dudes with shitty sports team, man. You're an asshole, Red Sox fan. Tony versus Killer Cross. I'll pass on that. No, I'll pass on that. No,
pass out.
You might kill me. He might actually kill me. It was a joke, Killer Cross. We won't have any bananas, I promise. So overall, you thought Raw was pretty good?
Yeah. That was decent. Yeah, it was good. It was entertaining. Opened up pretty good. The Triple H and Rollins Tri-Fest. And then, yeah, I thought Dean and – we don't talk about it, but I thought Dean and Seth had a pretty good match, even though we've seen it 100 times, it seems like. But I still thought the match was pretty good to open the show. Hawkins and Ryder reunited on Raw, so I like that. I was hoping they were going to beat the Revival, but no such luck.
Hey, Xbox more than welcome to come on.
I thought it was pretty good.
And his dog as well. They're both welcome. I heard Dave wants to fight Nikki Cross.
I want to fight Nikki Cross.
Yeah. We want to fight everyone that's on the roster. Some way, somehow. Let's see what else. Someone called Virgil. Hey, if we offer Virgil some breadsticks, he'll jump on over to the Olive Garden breadsticks. It was better than normal, says Bill. What did you guys think of Raw overall last night? And then we'll move over on to SmackDown, where there was some actual newsworthy stuff that happened on SmackDown as well. Hey, what's up, Dr. Hughes? How you doing tonight, dude? Thank you for popping over. The Edgehead should have used a spear. I'm sure they'll pop it out.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Raw was average at best.
I'm glad they're back. It was messed up. Did you see the interviewer when she asked Zach backstage? She's like, "Hey Zach, are you sure this is good for your career to be teaming up with Kurt Hawkins?" And I was like, "Damn, that was cold. He's standing right there.
He's on like a tremendous big ass losing streak.
I know, so but good. To say it right in front of him, it's like, hey Zach, is this good for your career to team up with Hawkins?" It's like, what the fuck? That was rude. Rude as hell.
Hey, that's a good point, BJ.
It's like saying
Dean Ambrose will have
I
some
don't know,
time
man.
on his hands soon, so maybe he can pop on the show one night and
Why is
he
that?
can review Raw with us, Dean Ambrose, in the future when he has some free time
Oh,
on his hands.
oh
Raw
yeah,
was
because he's gonna pass up AEW for us.
the DB's belt is amazing. Yeah, Daniel Bryan's belt, man.
I
Uh,
loved it. I'm sorry, everyone probably hated it, but I loved it.
that man, that belt. I know a lot of people probably hate the belt, but I thought that belt looked pretty nice. I thought it looked good.
Yeah, all right.
All right, so
All right, well, let's go to SmackDown then,
let's go to
since we're done with this
SmackDown
Raw.
Live. Then again, thank you everybody for popping in here and sharing and retweeting and dropping the hearts and all that. Thank you guys very much. So we had Becky Lynch start off SmackDown live, and says that she is going to break Ronda's arm at WrestleMania, and that's when we get Charlotte Flair coming out and saying that she takes credit for Becky becoming the man and kind of, gets in her face and saying basically that if it wasn't for Charlotte, Becky wouldn't be where she's at now. And Becky ends her, drills her with a little bit of a sucker punch, and they brawl at the beginning of SmackDown Live. The referees and officials end up breaking them apart. Becky Lynch ends up leaving the arena. But they are really playing up to where Charlotte is not leaving this storyline quite yet. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when we were touching on Ronda and Becky. Do you want to see Charlotte inserted into this match, or do you think it should just be Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey?
I think it should just be Becky and Ronda, but who knows what Vince thinks? He might think this thing needs more star power. We need to have. But didn't you see the crowd though? I mean, how can you do that to her? I mean, look what she's doing right now. The crowd is going nuts for Becky Lynch, not Charlotte. So give Becky this one-on-one opportunity. You didn't give her one-on-one SummerSlam match for the title because you thought it needed Charlotte. I mean, so it's like give her this opportunity. But they don't think it's good enough to main event to have Becky versus Ronda. They want to have throw Charlotte in there to make it more special because it's the main event. I don't know. I don't like it. I think Becky deserves it to main event. Why not? Even if it's not the main event, just to have this one-on-one match with Ronda. And I always have Charlotte thrown into every match she has to be a part of, it seems like.
To me,
it's like you guys said earlier.
It feels like that, no, but they might need her to call match and put over, so it's just not. That's true, and that someone tweeted me out earlier when I tweeted out, good brawl to start Raw SmackDown Live, but she does not to be in this triple threat. But someone tweeted me out, and I already kind of thought this, myself, that maybe they put Charlotte in the match because they don't want Ronda to take the pin.
Oh, you're thinking if she loses the title,
Charlotte takes the pin or the submission, and she loses, and that can, still have Ronda when she comes back to be able to feud with Becky Lynch. Is that something that you can see that can happen?
I mean, that's possible. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, and it might work out that way. But I think people would still want to see the one-on-one match, Let Becky beat Ronda Rousey. I mean, it might not happen, it'd be wishful thinking, but let Becky beat her. She already lost technically a tag match. They're going to go that route with the whole Auska thing, where it's like if she loses anything, she loses her streak, type thing. So it went there. She's not technically undefeated anymore. Mm-hmm. She still lost a match. So, I mean, it's not going to do anything if she loses one match. I mean, she lost a few fights, but maybe she feels that she shouldn't lose any match because she's from the UFC, so she should never lose a match.
If Becky breaks,
which is kind of bullcrap, yeah.
Ronda can take time off, just for your information. Shouldn't Daniel Bryan's belt be made of cardboard and recycled or some shit? Yeah, that would have been. He came out with a cardboard belt. Imagine that. I guess flares don't take a back seat. No comment there. Becky can never get a break. Remember SummerSlam when Charlotte was added in the match? Yep.
That's what you said.
Because Becky have no move, the match would be 2 minutes. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know about all that. I know Becky Lynch isn't I wouldn't say she's the greatest wrestler in the ring. I think Charlotte's probably a better wrestler than Becky. But it seems like it's Becky's time. This storyline just makes fucking sense. it just makes sense for them to be one-on-one match. You don't need Charlotte in the match. This whole match, in a nutshell, makes sense with them two. You may hate Becky Lynch.
Yeah, it would
You may
make
be
more sense to
tired.
have Charlotte take on Auska.
You know, you may be tired of Becky Lynch. I can understand that, and I can't. That's your opinion. I'm not going to try to change it. But you can't tell me that this feud between Ronda and Becky makes sense because we were supposed to get it at Survivor Series. It was taken from us by Nia Jax's punch to the face. They haven't had a match. They have gotten physical with each other a little bit, but not that much. But this match makes the most sense to have a one-on-one match to find out who's the better of the two, and then move on from there. And
I mean, yeah, they could always go where you have Charlotte getting a title shot against Auska. Say you have Sasha and Bayley winning or defending or actually getting a women's tag title shot, so you could have them all involved in the show.
Yeah, and there's a possibility that they could have all the four horsewomen, Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, with the titles.
All in this match? Oh, okay. I think you're talking about all of this one match.
Becky's got like 4 moves. I just said that Charlotte's the better wrestler than Becky. I'll agree with you guys on that. People hate on Becky's wrestling, true, but Stone Cold
people hate Becky
either. People hate Becky, just period.
And then you look at the crowds tonight, and you can't deny she's over. Just because you hate her, you can't deny she's not getting the best reactions out of anybody right now. Even better than a lot of the men.
Well, if anybody can save Bocce Ronnie, it's Becky and Charlotte. Yeah, maybe they don't feel confident that Becky can handle or carry Ronda in a match one-on-one.
Give her a shot at it, though. I think Becky could. I think they could put on a good match. But, give her a chance. Everyone else, Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte all got a chance to go one-on-one with Ronda. Why not let Becky do it?
Because, to be fair, I think all 3 of them are better wrestlers than Becky.
Yeah, maybe they are. But don't you think maybe they are better wrestlers? But I still think why not let her give her one-on-one shot against Ronda?
I think it's one. It could be 2 things, maybe 3. They're scared that there's not enough star power in the match, even though there's already star power behind it because of the feud alone. 2, they don't want Ronda to take the pin and to lose the title. Or 3, they don't have the confidence in Becky to carry Ronda in a match, so that they need to have Charlotte involved as well. It's got to be something.
Yeah, I mean, it's all possible. Look, I agree. Your opinions are right. They're probably the most. Yeah, they probably make the most sense. But I still think Becky deserves one-on-one match with Ronda, even though people might say she's not a great wrestler, she can't wrestle Ronda or nothing. I still think Becky deserves a one-on-one match. But they could probably throw Charlotte in there. I'm just saying. I feel that Becky deserves it one-on-one, even if people don't think she can do it. I think say, hey, let her sink or swim. Let her do it. If they have a bad match, they have a bad match. So what?
Yep. Bob Ruski puts, on the biggest stage, do you really want to worry about your top female botching? And that's exactly what would happen. You would have to worry about Ron. It's at WrestleMania, the biggest stage of them all, the Super Bowl of the WWE. It's a lot to handle, and we don't know. We all know Becky's not the greatest wrestler. Okay, we get that. And maybe they're afraid that the match would be shit without Charlotte being involved. So there's different factors into it. Let's see. Just go.
What if they do? Never mind. They wouldn't do that.
They don't have enough women since the brand split, so the fans get the same match for months. Yep, that's absolutely true. She is the era Stone Cold for 5 minutes.
Really? Because it looks like she's still on fire. Her 5 minutes are still going. Then
can we talk about the horrible makeup?
That's what I love about people.
Oh yeah, bad.
That's what I love about these fans. They hate her. They're fickle.
If Ronda versus Becky happens, if Ronda is kicked, Becky better be ready for NXT 4 Horsemen to jump in. Oh, yeah. It's going to be happening very, very soon. I'm just saying the Becky versus Ronda match would end with interference, just like Ronda versus Flair. This isn't last WrestleMania where she had Hunter, she had Steph too easily to guide her through. Exactly.
Whoa.
What's up, Brandon?
Someone just said it was easy for her at WrestleMania because she had Hunter and Steph.
Yeah,
Steph.
and to guard. Come on, Steph. Stephanie, I mean,
a ring general.
not a ring
Stephanie's
general, but
a
she
better
can
wrestler than Becky Lynch.
she can definitely help out Ronda in that
Oh,
kind of match. She's had more experience and been in those big time situations to where I can understand what he means by that. He probably forgot.
I would say Kurt Angle.
Kurt as well. Yeah, Kurt as well.
Triple H, but
when it was Charlotte, she took a DQ against Ronda. Last night again, what the hell is up with Rousey going for handshakes and hugs? Yeah, that is just so stupid. I don't agree with that at all.
But I get it, but I just don't agree with it. That's all. I think Becky does. I get why they worry about that. I still think it would be interesting though if they did this thing where it's a triple threat and Charlotte and Becky get in the ring and they hold up 4 fingers and just beat the crap out of Ronda the whole time. That would be funny.
Triple H and Steph did well selling for Ronda. I agree with you on that. I don't know if you guys touched on it yet. I tweeted you guys. Yes, I did. We did touch on that. How she's trying to shake everyone's hand after every match. It's just I don't like it, and we want more serious Ronda. Would be absolutely.
I wanted Bayley. Was I the only one who wanted Bayley to hold up 4 fingers after she shook her hand? She should have just done like the 4 fingers right in her face. Yeah. And now they're fighting about who had the name first on Twitter and all that. And Ronda saying, well, they're just using it for marketing. We believe in it in the lifestyle.
I hate how Ronda is trying to act like a good sport. Yeah. Brady made her look weak. Yes. Her going up, it just doesn't make Ronda look intimidating. When she's the one going up to the person that she's defeated and trying to shake their hand and getting on their good side and want their respect. I just don't get that.
Well, it's the UFC thing too. Maybe that's still hard to get rid of because after that you usually go over and you shake your opponent's hand after you win or whatever the match is over. You go shake your opponent's hand. That's just how it is. It's hard to break that habit. I guess.
ROH, we don't need the code of honor after every match. We don't. It just seems just overboard. After every match,
I know.
You shake someone's hand and try to hug them out and raise their hand after the match. Like we don't need that shit. This isn't, goody tissues shit. We just need her to go out there and have a good match and do what she does best and not break someone's arm. Same as Goldberg or Sting. Once she talks, her intimidation factor goes away. She sounds like an airhead. I can't disagree with you. Like I said, we get that serious side of Ronda when she was telling Becky that she could rip her arm off or she could kill her. That's the Ronda we need, not this, laughy smile. Oh, you got me, crowd. You got me. That stuff. Come on now. We don't need that. Even in the UFC, a lot of motherfuckers don't do that. Yeah. I hate the whole horsewoman stable because only one is a horsewoman. Oh, is a horseman kid? That makes sense. Okay, fair enough. But
they called themselves that in NXT too, I believe. So it's like weird, but yeah. There's also another one out there. And she's a horsewoman too, but still.
Let's move on to probably the most weirdest 20 to 30 minutes of SmackDown Live that we've seen in 2019. And I know it's only been been a month in, but it was just so.
I thought we were about to have a record for
fucking weird. Excuse my language, where we had R-Truth take on Shinsuke Nakamura, basically getting his redemption for getting taken out by Nia Jax. Once he was, what did he say? Something about I was rapping, and then all of a sudden I was napping. I laughed when he said that. So he gets his match against Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. And R-Truth wins by a roll-up that seemed to be controversial because it looked like Nakamura.
Looked like a 2 to me.
It looked like Nakamura kicked out before the 3 count, but the ref gave it to R-Truth, and R-Truth was the winner. So after the match, R-Truth is celebrating, and on comes out Rusev. And Rusev says he beat Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship because he felt that the title deserved better. And if the U.S. title deserves better than Shinsuke, then it deserves better than R-Truth. So Rusev is now a heel, everybody.
Just like Elias, he's a heel, then you're a heel, you're a heel, now you're a heel.
And then all of a sudden, R-Truth says, all right, well, let's have a match. So now we have another match with R-Truth and Rusev. Match lasted about maybe 3 minutes because R-Truth wins again. via roll up with the sunset flip. And
didn't you think we were about to see? Yeah, go ahead.
He defeats Rusev. So now R-Truth is a champ. And after the match, Nakamura and Rusev attack R-Truth. So it's like the WWE said, you know what, fuck it. Let's just make R-Truth and Nakamura the foreign tag team again.
Rusev.
Rusev. So it's Rusev and Nakamura, seemingly a new tag team now. And R-Truth is now the U.S. champion, which I did say, everybody, that R-Truth was going to win a title. I said he would win the world title, but he's won the U.S. title. So there you go, everybody. My predictions are coming true, kind of. Your thoughts of R-Truth winning the U.S. championship?
I thought we were about to see 2 new champions in like the span of 30 minutes. I was like, what? This is like a record. I thought Rusev was about to win the U.S. title. I was like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, it was definitely interesting and crazy 30 minutes of the show. I was like, wow, what is going on here? U.S. title matches back to back. We're about to see 2 new champions. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You think Nakamura's leaving, and then they kind of put him with Rusev, even though they're kind of hesitant to team together. And Rusev even said later on that I'll team with you once, don't screw me over. So we'll see what happens. It does seem kind of like the Bar when they put them together. So, I mean, if they're like someone said on Twitter, like, if you're going to put Rusev and Nakamura together, then break up the Bar and let them go on their own single stuff. And yeah, and look, we'll get to it, even though I thought the elimination tag match was good and fun to watch. I would much prefer this little tag match we're getting in a week or so, or whatever, with the Good Brothers versus Nakamura and Rusev. That should be a no contenders match, because I do not care about seeing the Usos. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry. I don't care about seeing the Usos versus Kane in the Miz. I'm sorry, I just don't.
That's probably the only reason why they picked the Usos, because it's in Houston, it's in their hometown, or
oh, I didn't think about that.
I can understand that. Let's see. Vince heard us, and Tony say R-Truth as champion in 2019. We are the authority for the real new era. Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Yeah, older and older. Yep. We know Vince loves R-Truth.
Says after, but random tag teams and the only part that works for current WWE teams. It just seems like they can never have a legit tag team. They always have to throw motherfuckers together, man. And
good for R-Truth though.
And then hope that they, click together and become a tag team like the Bar did. Yeah, R-Truth, sure, cool.
Yeah, good for him.
He's been there for. He's a lifer. He's been through a lot with the WWE. He gets now a title for his first title in 8 years.
Isn't that crazy though? This whole Carmella thing that it started with that whole doing this little Truth TV, and they became a team, and then they kind of turned both their careers around, and they both started getting these huge reactions as a team. And now he's the U.S. champion in 2019. That's crazy.
Yeah, 2 things
he's not going to keep it long, probably.
2019 was a feud with Jeff Jarrett and Elias, and R-Truth winning a title. That's 2 things that I thought I would never see in 2019. Just very, very.
Oh, what about Shane McMahon and the Miz as tag champions?
That definitely new era. WWE, definitely.
And a hemp title, so there you go.
Why is Dean leaving? Because he's just not happy. Basically, that's it. He's just not happy with his direction, his character, and just not happy being there. So that's the reason why he is most likely going to leave. He is leaving. What is it? What's in it for Mela?
What do you mean what's in it for? She's getting huge reactions. Why do they still keep them together? I think they're a likable tandem, and they work, and they have good chemistry together. I think they mix well together. I do. I like them together, actually. But see, I actually hated Carmella before this.
Dave from New Jersey makes kind of a good point, though. It's saying Carmella career going nowhere. We didn't even mention her for the Auska match, and that's true because the reason we mentioned her as not even a legit contender though, because
she's not.
What made Carmella was her being a manager with Enzo and Cass, and this role,
what she's doing now.
This role with R-Truth fits her better than her being a wrestler. She should be wrestling every now and then, but she's not, no women's champion by all means. I think we can all kind of agree with that. Time for Goldust to make his return and finish his business with R-Truth to win the U.S. title. Oh my god. Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that shit. I forgot about that. Goldust and R-Truth. Remember that?
She is getting
I forgot about that.
Cheerleader.
But yeah. You know what? That would be they could do something with that, though. You make a great point with her being like the manager role, and then you could have her eventually even turn on R-Truth and have her be aligned with somebody else. Hey, Big Cass, what are you doing? I don't know.
And Kevin Owens are not leaving. Good try, though. Kevin Owens just recently re-signed with the WWE, and Sami Zayn ain't going anywhere as well. I think that would have been already out if he was leaving soon. He's supposed to be returning as well as with Kevin Owens. Then everybody, thank you for joining us on Twitch as well. We got about 5 or 6 viewers on Twitch, and
awesome.
we already hit over 2,000 viewers on Periscope. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Really do appreciate the love and support. And don't forget, everybody. Let me pull this up. We will be having T-shirts out very, very soon. I got the last email today from the guy who's making the shirts, and he said that the production on the shirts are going to start tomorrow. So the production on the shirts will be starting to be made tomorrow. So just one more suggestion: if you would like a shirt, let us know. I can reserve you the sizes: small, medium, large, extra large, and double X. We are very excited for these shirts to come out. It's our first ever shirts as a podcast. So if you're interested, let us know. We will have more. I know Bill Apter, the legendary Bill Apter, asked for a shirt, so we'll be sending him one as well. Thanks to Brendan Apter for hooking that up with us and his dad. So we appreciate that. But if you're interested in a shirt, just let us know. What happened to the... Yeah, I totally forgot about the Royal Rumble giveaway, Red Sox fan. That's my bad. Totally forgot about it. You know what else, too? Kind of glad we didn't do a giveaway, seeing that it ended at fucking midnight. I don't think that would have worked out a lot, but I do have an idea in mind. I have a random generator here on my computer now, so to make the giveaways a little bit easier, and we'll be doing some more giveaways. Also be doing a giveaway with the shirts and stuff like that. So fuck off, Red Sox fan. Let's see. Just a shame that the U.S. title has become such a joke, says Brandon After. Yes, it was one of those prestige titles, and now it just seems like it's a dud now. Trying to see what else comments that I may have missed. Why doesn't Goldust join Cody in AEW? Well, that's a rumor that
I'm sure he will
happen. The Miz needs to win the U.S. title to restore some glory to it. Seriously, R-Truth is a champ. I was too busy marking out. Yep, I was marking out this week, and that's definitely why I forgot about the giveaway. No, I just forgot about it, to be honest with you. And none of you guys mentioned it either. That's surprisingly as well. So let's go to...
Are people really mad that R-Truth is the champion? I mean, who would you rather, Rusev be the champion? I mean,
so apparently
I don't mind R-Truth being champion
for Naomi in a dark match. Ugh, yeah. Should be the SmackDown version of the Intercontinental Champ. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. So next, we have Mandy and Sonya Deville basically announced that they will be in the Elimination Chamber. Anything you want to touch on? Are we going to talk about
the rest of it?
I don't really.
Are we going to talk about the rest of the stuff too?
No, I really don't really give a shit about it.
It was just weird. I was like, oh, so much for qualifying matches.
Yeah. So we get the Fatal 4-Way to find out who will be the number one contender for the tag titles. But before that, we had the Shane and Miz tag team celebration. And I swear, man, if we didn't do this show talking about SmackDown Live, I would have fucking changed the channel. Because this shit just makes me sick. Shane McMahon and The Miz do not... Oh, my God. I just don't like the characters. I don't like how The Miz has turned into some wussy boy. They have his dad come out and tell him that he loves him. Like some type of Oprah moment. Like, this is not what I want to see The Miz do. The Miz is a heel. He's a douchebag. This is not The Miz that I saw a year, 2 or 3 years ago. Like I said, I put out a missing persons report for The Miz because this is not the real Miz.
Oh, great. We're going to start that.
No.
We want the real Miz. We need the real AJ Styles.
We need the real
new
Miz back. So we have the Usos, the Bar, the New Day, and Heavy Machinery in a fatal 4-way. No, I could have watched the Spurs, Red Sox fan. The Spurs were playing tonight. The Bar, the New Day, Heavy Machinery, and the Usos go off and to find out who will face Shane and the Miz at Elimination Chamber. We already told you the Usos won, but the main MVP was Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery got some really good offense in. They even eliminated the New Day, but not over that. They were very over with the crowd. Later's after. Thanks for popping in, dude. What did you think of Heavy Machinery tonight's performance?
You know what? I mean, the match was actually really entertaining. Even though I didn't care for the match, I think they should have done something else with this because these same three teams, just like the club said a few weeks back or a month or so ago back, it's the same three teams coming out there wrestling every week. But, I mean, yeah, it was nice to see Heavy Machinery thrown in there as a little mix-up, as a little shake. Hey, remember, they said that we were promised new matches, new matchups, new stars. They never said they were going to win.
That's true.
So they just said we were promised them. They're never going to win anything. But, yeah, I mean, it was fun. Heavy Machinery did eliminate the New Day, so that maybe that starts a feud. I don't know. Does that mean they're on SmackDown then? Since they're going for titles on SmackDown? So that's kind of confusing to me. It's like, why would they be going for a title on a show that they're not a part of?
Officially yet.
You know? So I was kind of strange. But, yeah, I thought the match was fun and exciting, too, even though the Usos won. But like you said, Houston connection, so that's why. I'm sure Booker T will be on the pre-show.
Booker T, yeah, probably.
But, I mean...
if found, please return to Hill. Yes, please.
Did you like the match, though?
I thought the match was very entertaining. I even thought maybe for a second that Heavy Machinery was going to win. There's some
I did too. I was hoping.
In the chat were saying that we were hoping that Heavy Machinery were going to win. Hey, they're getting over with the crowd, man. They're really clicking. They seem to have the crowd cheering for them, and they put on an entertaining performance tonight. They really did good. Did good in that fatal 4-way.
Yep.
Usos, I probably could have went without, but I can understand why. Like I said, it's in Houston.
Well, would you rather see the Bar again?
I'd rather have seen Heavy Machinery, to be honest with you. But
it would have been nice.
But yeah, it was a solid fatal 4-way. Let's get to the chat real quick. Somebody get Mr. Miz's dad a barber and stylist. Oh my god.
But would you want Heavy Machinery to go in there and lose to Shane and the Miz though?
They could have possibly started the feud then. If they wanted to, because it's a month away from.
I didn't want them
to. Let's see. I fucking love Heavy Machinery and didn't know anything about them till SmackDown. The Bushwhacker mess has to stop. Sanity should have been in this. I can't argue that. Heavy Machinery should have.
Won. Colognes. Put the colognes in it.
I'm telling you, Shane McMahon is WWE champ by the end of the year. Don't even say that. Miz dad got a chant and Miz is over. Ugh. Just don't like what we're getting from the Miz. You would have watched it anyway, says the Red Sox fan. Elimination Chamber literally 2 weeks away. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. What's the word on Ziggler? No word on Ziggler yet, other than he's a free agent starting Thursday. So we will see. Tony.
So isn't that crazy that they would have him? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say? What are we gonna say, Dave? Dave, are you there? Okay.
Still there?
Yeah, I can. I'm asking you. What were we gonna say?
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. Isn't it strange that if he's a free agent on Thursday, Dolph Ziggler, why would you have him eliminate Drew McIntyre? Didn't he eliminate Drew McIntyre from the Rumble?
He did. He did eliminate.
So that's just strange.
Yo, go to Fightful's Twitter. Breaking news. Uh-oh. All right. Go into Fightful wrestling Twitter account. Oh.
What?
Hideo Itami has asked for and has been granted his WWE release.
Itami?
Yeah.
Yes, finally. One of them gets out of there. Thank you.
Wow. Breaking news on the Get the Table show. Thank you, Bobaruski.
Wow, about
Wow.
time.
Let's see if I can get
It's been treated like
into
shit anyway.
some details. Let's see. Fightful was told that Itami, much like other wrestlers who has asked for a release, was unsatisfied creatively. Outside of WrestleMania, Itami made his NXT debut September 11, 2014 at NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, and he was introduced to the crowd by NXT General Manager William Regal. He would all go on to team with Finn Balor in a feud with the Accenture before feuding with Tyler Breeze throughout early 2015. Blah, 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 blah. Just kind of giving us the kind of information about him. Not really anything else, but yeah, he's leaving. Kind of had to figure that was going to happen sometime. That's crazy.
So does everyone start saying Itami for he has to be granted? Was he granted it, you said?
Yeah, he's granted his release. He asked for it.
So so now does everyone start speculating AEW?
It'll make sense watching 205 too, by the way. That's crazy. You're watching 205? How's it going tonight? Bad injuries doesn't surprise me. Telling you more guys are leaving now. Kenta comes home. Yeah.
Yeah. But does he go back to Noah though? Because they're kind of working with WWE, so
I'm not
that's kind of strange.
Red Sox fan. You act like this is breaking my heart. The only time
I'm happy about it.
Broken-hearted in wrestling is when Shawn Michaels retired, and I'm being like absolutely 100% honest with you. Actually, that's the only time I kind of like got teary-eyed. Yep, see, he even sent out a tweet right now saying thank you.
Wow.
That's the only.
Well, no time I probably legitimately cried or teared up about wrestling. Probably the Eddie Guerrero died.
Yeah, these guys are leaving because they're not happy. I can't, if they're not happy, let them leave. That's what I said about it earlier in the show when it first started. If you're working somewhere that you're not happy and you have the opportunity to leave that spot and go somewhere else, who's gonna say no? You can stay where you're not happy. No, man. If he's not happy, let him leave. If he knows he can do better in a different company, let him leave. Let Hideo Itami do something that he'll actually get to do something instead of being stuck in, backstage not doing anything.
Yeah, that's obviously why he was in the Rumble match, because they're trying to get him to stay, make him happy.
No, I was actually wondering what Bobaruski had. It had to have been something huge, like a release. I thought it was going to be something huge, like, Ziggler or someone else, but that's pretty huge. I know Hideo was big on the indie scene. I'm liking this new Switchblade shirt I just saw on Twitter. Kenta versus Omega, let's fucking do it, AEW. AEW bringing in Union is a big deal. So they let Tommy go, but not Mike Kanellis. Yeah, that's very interesting, eh?
Are you Canadian now?
It's WWE losing their Shield reunion whenever Roman returns. Yep, that's back to Noah. They're under new management, says Bobaruski. Later is Richie Vargas, man. Appreciate you coming in here.
Oh, is it? But yeah, I would be interested if he goes. Would he ever go to New? I wonder if any one of them knows, the big New Japan or Japan wrestling fan guys, if they know, would he ever go to New Japan?
It's a possibility. Vince needs to hang it up and just do the business stuff and not creative stuff. I agree with you on that. I absolutely agree with you on that. Let's see what else. These cruiserweights aren't going up to the main roster. Finn Balor is the exception. That's probably true. He probably felt like he wasn't going to be going anywhere from 205 Live to the main roster. Hideo.
Yeah, he wasn't being used at all either. I mean, he's being treated badly in the WWE, honestly.
At all as well. All right, so breaking news. Hideo, I thought actually it was going to be Nakamura. But yeah, Hideo Itami has asked and was granted his release from the WWE, so he'll be making appearances somewhere else in the near future, I'm pretty sure. So let's get
So now with the release, does he have to wait like 90 days where he can wrestle somewhere?
Probably, I think so. That's how it goes. He has to probably wait a certain
amount of time. If you're an expire, it doesn't?
I think that's the way it goes.
Thing,
if it's expired, you can do what you want. But he asked for, and he was granted his release. He probably has to wait a certain amount of time to before he could show up somewhere. But yeah, let's move on to what else happened at the end of SmackDown Live, which was Daniel Bryan coming out and says that it was easy.
Yeah, that Joe one stuff with Andrade and the Ray is still going on, but yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Andrade and Rey Mysterio still feuding. But we get Daniel Bryan, who comes out and says that you see the dirt under his fingernails and thinks he's a mindless run. He spends time at night reading. Daniel says Rowan is an intellectual peer. He can see through the facade of AJ Styles. AJ Styles comes out. And I'm thinking,
you're not going to talk about the title?
No, I am. I'm thinking, oh man, the feud's going to start again. But let's go to that title. Basically, he calls himself a hypocrite because he's wearing a title that's made out of leather. He even named a cow that was killed for the belt named Daisy.
Cows on Channing Daisy. Yeah, that was funny.
He grabs the belt, throws it in the trash, and introduces a new belt that is made out of hemp. Let me get the picture up one more time for you guys. It's right there in the corner. That's the belt. And it looks not bad. I actually thought the belt looked pretty good. It's the new Daniel Bryan's new title. What did you think of the segment with Daniel Bryan announcing the new championship? And then we get the whole Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Mustafa Ali coming out to where Triple H.
This was all rushed so together, and we didn't hear any of the talking at all, because it was on commercial. They said, you guys are here talking.
That it will be a elimination match at
Chamber.
The Elimination Chamber match. It'll be a chamber match at Elimination Chamber between those men, and Daniel Bryan will be in it. What about Trevor Lee doing his own voice and his own intro? That is news and talk at SmackDown crowd. Really? I had no idea. I'm not shedding a tear. We need the Cody gif. Says the word hemp, and a bunch of potheads come out to the ring. Yeah.
AJ's little line was pretty funny too. He's like, "Did you smoke it?"
That was funny. What do you think? Are you excited about this
match
at the Chamber?
Well, I mean, that should be good. But I mean, I think I'm surprised that other people are saying they kind of liked it too. I seen on Twitter, which I was surprised. But yeah, I like it. I thought it was cool, and it's, you know what? It is. What if I told Bob Ruski this on Twitter right before we went on? I was like, you know what? What if he loses the title? Or not loses it, but he doesn't lose the title. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer a WWE champion, but he keeps this as his personal title. Yeah, the $1 million title.
Okay.
I could see something like that where it's his personal title he had made, and I don't think it stays like, oh, now AJ Styles is the champion again, so he's going to carry around the hemp title. I don't think he would. I think it's going to stay as Daniel Bryan's personal title, where even if he's not WWE champion, he could keep using it around and defend it whenever he wanted, type thing.
It's definitely interesting.
It makes sense.
Bob Ruski says, title. What did he say? If he hears Tozawa, he would freak out that he's leaving. I wouldn't be surprised if Tozawa leaves too. I mean, Jesus, it's just, how long will it be till it be Daniel Bryan is managed by Snoop Dogg? That's funny. That's funny. Tommy's gone. Sad to see, says someone on Twitter. This is crazy, man.
I mean, yeah, it does suck that he's leaving, but I'm glad he's leaving because he hasn't been used right. And granted, he got injured a couple times, so they didn't like that. They got hurt. And that Tony idiot, or what the hell's Tino idiot, dropped on his freaking head the second time. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, Tino, that's his name, Tino.
We just talked about that, Adam Bomb. It
happens. Yeah, it sucks, but I hope he goes back to Japan or even New Japan would be cool. Or everyone's thinking AEW.
Or maybe ROH, possibly. I don't know. His relationship.
To go back there. He used to. That's why I first seen him wrestle. Yeah, him and Brian and all the other guys. Yeah.
So good for him.
And the crop of talent that came from that ROH, that those people that were in ROH at that same time is unbelievable. I mean, from a Tommy, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, all these guys were all at ROH at the same time, which is crazy. And how much they're blowing up everywhere now.
On top of that, Noah's under new management. Yep, Adam Bob Ruski just mentioned that as well. So the possibilities for Hideo is limitless. He could go to AEW. He can go go to ROH. He can go to Japan, go back to Japan and wrestle there. It's definitely he probably knew that his choices were very wide, where he could go and wrestle. So I don't blame him. What did you think of Rowan's entrance video? Ugh. I don't even want to.
It was the same one.
You
don't like Rowan?
He's all right, I guess.
See, you're one of those fickle fans, Tony. You look at Rowan, you see this disgusting man, don't you?
No, I just never really was a fan of Rowan.
I've seen a lot of... I was surprised how many signs I've seen in the crowd of fickle. I was surprised. There's a lot of fickle signs.
AEW is going to be in a bidding war for the next coming months. Well, apparently, Red Sox fan Jericho says they're only interested in 4 to 6 wrestlers on the WWE roster. So, who knows?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you see his tweets, man. He was going off late last night, saying that AEW doesn't need anybody from the WWE. They're really only interested in like 4 to 6 people. That Brock Lesnar is, I can't remember the exact tweet that he said, but he needs to lose the gut. He was basically going on. He ended up deleting them. He deleted the tweets, but it's interesting.
I'm saying, I don't know if Jericho should be the guy talking about people need to lose the gut. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Japan, Impact,
MLW, I love Jericho.
AEW, the wrestling business is hot. What happens to Harper?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Does he join the family?
You would have to eventually think he does, because unless he goes on another singles run, I mean, why not? Thought Rowan was the one hurt. Hey, Luke.
Yeah, why not? It could easily see this happening. Daniel Bryan's about to lose, and it's going down to the last guys coming in. And here comes Rowan and Harper both in the ring. At the end of the chamber, they sneak in and they beat up the last guy. And then Daniel Bryan keeps the title because of Rowan and Harper. You're welcome, WWE. I just booked the chamber for you.
Jericho needs to lose his gut. Hey, New Dave, don't be fickle with all your fickleness from Fickletown. Yes, yeah, Tommy not on the roster. Not sure what he means by that. Kari Zane is my bae. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, breaking news. Probably other than Dean Ambrose asking for his release, Hideo Itami.
Everyone is
one of the big signings from WWE. 4 or 5 years ago, who never really panned out.
Yeah.
Not because of him, but injuries and WWE not really booking him after that. Is now
they didn't do a storyline off of his injury. He didn't get the Aleister Black treatment when his injury gets turned into a storyline, or they just forgot about his.
For the record, I fully expect to see Sanity leave WWE, says Adam Bomb. Okay.
I can see Eric Young leaving.
And the moderators, if you don't mind seeing if maybe one of you accidentally muted Jody in the chat room, if you don't mind. I know you guys can check that, right? I can't really check that at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty crazy how that happened.
Man, can you imagine? I know Red Sox fan talked about this on Twitter, but man, it really does seem like WWE is going to look completely different after WrestleMania, because there's got a lot of people who are just gone, it seems like. If all this stuff pans out and stays where it's at right now. I mean, holy shit. Like, Itami's gone now. Ambrose could be gone. Nakamura could be gone. There's like so many guys that poof could be gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential guys, Styles, and then people asking for their release too. So it's going to be interesting, like you said, come WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, how the rosters are going to look on all 3 shows, NXT, SmackDown Live, on Raw. Because if you've got to assume that eventually these guys that are leaving, they're going to have to take the places of the big guns that are leaving. So.
You have to do call-ups. I mean, you have to call almost half the NXT roster up, You're going to have Aleister. I want to say Tyler Black, but Aleister Black come up. You're going to have Adam Cole.
Velveteen Dream.
Guys Cole
like that,
and all of them, yeah. The fresh faces, yeah.
And they're going to suffer because of them not building up new stars. Yep. Exactly, and
then NXT's going to suffer. Yeah.
He keeps trolling me and telling me that I'm upset, which I'm not. I don't know why he keeps trolling me. I told him on Twitter that it's time for WWE to step their game up now. It's time for them to actually go through with these new era stuff and create new stars. They have people in NXT that can be stars. It's just time for them to actually start to create them with Aleister Black, with
kind of
Dream, Maybe with Johnny Gargano. I'm not sure how people, if people feel like Ciampa can do that. They need to start, making the jump with some of these people that they're obviously afraid to give the push to. It's got to eventually happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because it's kind of looking like it was in how WCW days where it was Hogan and Hogan only, and they never built anyone up after that. It was kind of like that situation.
That's another one. Bray Wyatt, if you're Bray Wyatt, why would you want to stick around with a show or a roster or company that has nothing for you? It's just like I said, if this wasn't happening right now with AEW and the wrestling business is going now, I don't think a lot of these guys would be asking for their release. Now with AEW spiking up and, ROH, you got Impact, you got MLW, you got New Japan, you got all these different wrestling companies really hitting a peak right now. It's not much of a risk for guys like Hideo or Dean Ambrose to say, you know what, I want to leave because I'm not happy and try to succeed somewhere else, because it could actually really happen with some of these guys.
Well, Dale could always go. Kenta was a big star in Japan, so even if he did, that's a little different, I think, because he was already a big star and always knows he can go back home, just like Nakamura. They can always go back to Japan and still be big stars.
Right, and I agree with you on that. That's different, exactly. But guys like Dean Ambrose and guys like Dolph Ziggler, if you want to throw him out there, The Revival, Mike Bennett, these guys wouldn't be asking for the release because there's not like those 5 years ago. What other companies were there other than WWE that were legitimately, kind of threats to them? Impact? You could throw in New Japan, but in the States, it was probably just Impact. Maybe ROH too, but now there's like
some other ROH is out there.
Now there's like 5 different companies right now that you can actually legitimately jump to and be successful. So,
and there's so many smaller ones too. Yeah, there's a lot of really smaller ones. But right now, it's kind of looking like WWE. AEW is like the new WCW, and kind of Impact is kind of trolling that line of being like the ECW in a way, where they're not really on a lot of stations. You can barely watch it late at night, so it's kind of like that. And you got all these other cable networks that have some 30 minutes an hour shows. But, I mean, really, I'm not saying New Japan isn't there because it is, but I'm just saying in the United States version. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying for that point because really a lot of people probably don't watch a lot of New Japan over here because you don't get a weekly show like you do the other shows.
When was Impact a threat?
If you want
I think they were a threat when Hogan first arrived because they were starting to get pretty good ratings, but then that's when it started to go downhill from there. What is the point?
Because they kept doing the same old thing.
If Champ only wrestles 4 or 5 times a year, belt on Raw each week. Yep. If Hideo had
because that's gonna matter.
It could have ended up positive, but he had back-to-back injuries. Yep.
Yeah, but he hasn't been injured in 3 years?
You know how Vince
come on. I know, I agree, but I agree, but I'm saying, bro, that he in this time frame he could have. I understand how Vince is, but in that time frame after that injury, after that neck injury he had, he's been fine ever since then. So he could have easily done something with him after that. What I'm saying? Easily.
I agree with you.
But I'm just saying. It's not for someone saying, it's only because he was injured so 2 times. He was injured twice, and that's it. So I'm just saying. And he hasn't been injured since then.
If John Morrison joins AEW, oh my God, it's best for business. No. Johnny Impact just needs to stay in Impact Wrestling and throw out some more shitty promos.
I'm surprised by what you were telling about Jericho. Like they're saying that they're not interested in anyone from WWE. So that surprised me.
Yeah, but it's
because I would figure that
trolling. He could just be trolling too.
Yeah, that's true too. But I wouldn't be surprised if he would know because I'm sure he's in that inner circle. So I mean, I would be surprised if anyone left. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they don't want to be like Impact Wrestling or TNA was back in the day, or Dixie Carter. Anytime someone from WWE got released, she went right after him. So maybe they don't want to be like that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why they never really gave Hideo an actual shot after he did get injured. Were they that scared that he was going to get hurt again? If they were that scared, they should have just fucking released him instead of just wasting his talent on their roster. That's all I have to say. Twice, and the first one kept him out for over a year. Damn, that's horrible. Dave from New Jersey says it's going to matter. Dave, Raw has sucked for a while because Brock not on it with belt.
So what? When Roman, oh my God, how many times do we? It's like this is like a repeated thing we talk about every single week on the show. When Roman was champion, it did. Oh my God, when Roman was champion, he was on there every week. It didn't matter much. He wasn't defending the title every single week on Raw. He had a match here and there, bro. Pointless matches and pointless feuds he had. You're going to tell me the ratings and stuff is going to change because Seth Rollins is the champion doing open challenges every week on Raw. Yeah, that's going to make it so much better. That's going to make it worse. I'm going go give me Captain Planet's title. I'll SmackDown.
I have tons of hats. Scallop. I have tons of Spurs hats. I just wear this one because it's always nearby. But I can, if you're that worried about my hats, I can wear a different one next time, or you could just buy me one and send me one if you like. This hat, I get a lot of compliments on that too. So it is what it is. The creative team sucks for Raw. It's the writing, says Bobaruski. Absolutely. What else? Royal Rumble had belt for a couple of months. Roman Reigns had belt for a couple of months with injured roster. That's a valid point.
What does that have to do with the title, though? I mean, do you think the title needs to be on Raw every week, Tony?
Not on every week, but it would be nice to see Brock a little bit more on Raw. I can understand that gripe.
Yeah, but to me, it's like the title or Brock. No, he said he wants the. I think he wants the title on Raw every single week. If Rollins beats him, which he probably will, and then we're gonna have those Raw or Universal title open challenges every week on Raw because that's what Rollins is known for. And it's just gonna be like it's not gonna mean anything.
Oh, this hat.
It's just not.
This hat is shit. Well, you know what? Scallop, you can suck some ass. There you go. I blocked him. Yeah, I did. You want to call my hat shit? I'll block you because I've never seen you before in this chat room. So you can't troll me if I don't know who the fuck you are. There you go, everybody. But yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much kind of wrap it up. We've been going on for over 2 hours now, about 2 hours and 11 minutes. Holy shit! We will be live on Saturday again.
And Friday.
And Friday, yes. Let's see what else. We're ahead of a better team. Y'all are such assholes. Hogan was never there when he came. They promoted it. It is shit. Not gonna lie. He's talking about my hat. What an asshole. Maybe if we had it, then we would know. Don't need an open challenge, but need Champ there. I'll wait for.
No, you don't. Wasn't it nice to have someone show up who's not there every week, and then you have that surprise come and draw fans in or draw ratings up because hey, Brock's here in 2 weeks. Brock will be on Raw. You're gonna tune in. You're gonna watch the pay-per-view. We talked about this last Sunday night too, where people are paying to see Brock wrestle and wanting to see what he's gonna do, and that's what they're still paying to see or watching to see or whatever.
I'm done with
see him lose because you hate him so much.
Yeah, hopefully Periscope gets their shit together, man. Adam Baum's been having issues with Periscope, and so is Jody. She messaged me on Twitter saying that she couldn't see anything in the chat room. That's why I asked if maybe you guys muted her on accident, which is just weird. I'm not sure what's going on with Periscope. Periscope does need to get their stuff together. Let's see. Could you imagine if Rollins asked for his release? Twitter
Why would he? He's their favorite toy.
I'm just saying. He's just saying in general, man. They would have a fucking meltdown. Yeah, kind of like Alex in the show. Yeah, when Alex comes, the viewers come as well. I wonder who is next. Ask for her release. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see who's next to ask for their release.
Yeah, if Alex is here every week, it wouldn't be special.
That's very true. People watch when Brock is on the show. Oh, what is that noise? So you want new talent that have no shot to be the number one guy? Says Dave from New Jersey.
What does new talent have anything to do with the number one guy? How does that affect new talent? Brock Lesnar is your champion.
Because I guess they don't.
It doesn't affect new talent. Okay, so we want Mojo Rawley as Universal Champion.
Let's do it.
Is that where you want to go? I mean, what new guy?
Come on, everybody wants Mojo as the champion, all right? We want to get Mojo on the show, so we want Mojo as the champ. Yeah, Red Sox fan says stay tuned for people to be released. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hey, I'm not upset with anyone leaving.
It's like NFL free agency. Shit.
Yeah, listen. We mainly cover the WWE. There's no fact about that. You know, we cover more of the other companies on our Saturday. Probably not as much as we should, but I'm not going to be upset at a guy who's not happy at the workplace that he works and he wants to move on to be happy. You know, I can't, I'm not going to hate on someone because if I wasn't happy where I worked and someone offered me a better position, better pay, or the same pay, but I would be happy, I would do it. We can't hate on these other guys who are doing it as well because it makes sense. Hideo was not getting used. Why not? Why would you just stay there and waste your talent, waste your years away, just not doing anything on the WWE roster? Same thing with Dolph Ziggler. Same with, Dean Ambrose. You got to respect these guys that are actually going out there and asking for their release and testing the waters. It's not a for sure thing that these guys are going to succeed once they leave the WWE. So you got to give them props when they have to leave or when they want to leave. It's a WWE show. Just saying, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen with Mojo as champ? That's true. After Mania, the shows are trash until SummerSlam build up. Yeah, usually after Mania, it's pretty much of a slowdown. You got Money in the Bank too, so that's always pretty good.
Hey, do we see Undertaker in the next couple months? Shall have another match, or is he going to be the rumored Hall of Fame inductee headliner? That's gonna be interesting.
That's a good question. Renee is apparently staying, so it's just gonna be Dean Ambrose leaving. Renee Young, she should be staying. Good to hear that money isn't everything with some of these wrestlers. Yeah, Dean Ambrose doesn't have no issues about what WWE was going to pay him.
Plus he's still going to get paid from him. He's going to make merchandise money.
He just wasn't happy where he was at. You can't blame the man. Let's see. Good to hear. So WWE's going to suffer. How long has Dean been wrestling in general? Maybe his body is just tired. But see, he had a long break from wrestling as well. Remember, he was injured. He just recently came back. He's just not very happy.
He was out for like a year.
He's just not happy at where he's at. This is what happens when Champ goes away with belt until SummerSlam. Yeah, I mean it's just going to be a dry. Well, Rollins is going to win at WrestleMania, so we'll see how this this Champ on Raw every week actually happens and does for the WWE. So we're gonna
better be so much better. If that happens, I'm gonna come on here every week. This Raw better be so much better if Rollins is champion and on there every single week with the title. It's gonna make Raw so much better. Everyone says they need their champion on Raw, which is gonna mean nothing, but whatever.
Missed out on some of the answers.
To me, it makes no sense.
This is scripted. Why would they? No, we kind of touched on it at the beginning of the show, Chris. So if you want. I don't want to go into much more detail because we've already gone for 2 hours. We'd go on for another hour. If you want, just check out the replay. We touched on the Ambrose situation right off the top of the show. We don't think it's a work, but we do kind of question about them showing that he has asked for his release and all that stuff. We talked about that.
Yeah, we spent a good 30+ minutes talking about Dean Ambrose.
Yes. So we'll touch more on Dean Ambrose on Saturday night. It's already past the midnight hour on the East Coast, so I don't want to go too much longer. We went pretty long tonight. Usually we don't go this long, but there was a lot to talk about, especially with the whole news about Hideo Itami asking for his release, and then we got Dean Ambrose as well, not going to resign, and then the whole Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. It was just a lot to talk about tonight, so we do appreciate everybody. Had a feeling you guys talked about it already. Oh, well, appreciate you coming in here anyways, Chris Mack. Appreciate your support as always. You've been another one of those kind of newish guys to the show, and you've been interacting a lot with us lately. So we do appreciate everybody who comes in here and talks. R-Truth won't have the title by Elimination Chamber. I could see that, which is 2 weeks away. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they give the truth a little bit of a run with the title. We'll see. Let's do a quick little shout out. So we got Peck and Rod, Bob Aruski, who broke the news about Hideo Itami. So thank you for letting us know about that, Bob Aruski. Dave from New Jersey, Red Sox fan. Jeffrey Cross, Alice, Truth and Loyalty, Kevin, Mr. Kenobi, Marsh, Brad Lucas, Juan, Franco, B, Lala. Thank you for the Super Hearts as well. Gary, who else? Super Hearts.
Gary Hart.
Speeds, Lit Mantis, Reezy. Thank you for the Super Hearts. Kenobi, LA. Or Lala, thank you for the Super Hearts. Tony, wrap it up. We don't want you to suffer anymore. I'm not suffering, bro. Stop with the trolling. I'm fine. Let's see, what else? Is that it? Truth will lose it to Little Jimmy. Oh, God. Little Jimmy. I really just kind of started getting back into wrestling these past 2 years or so. Well, that's awesome, man. Welcome back. You came back into the wrestling scene at the right time because wrestling is booming right now, especially with these new companies opening up. Thank you, JT England, for being in the chat with us on Twitter, on Twitch. I'm sorry, we had up to 5 to 6 viewers on Twitch, so we do appreciate everybody popping in on Twitch as well. Go ahead.
Has anyone checked out this new the new WoW stuff?
I think Bob Aruski was talking about it.
Okay, I was wondering if it's any good or not, and if anyone's checked it out. So yeah,
or if Red Sox fan may. If anybody have seen WoW, these past couple of weeks, I know it just started airing 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to stall and see if anybody says anything in the chat room. But don't forget, everybody, Friday we'll be live here as well on Twitch doing a co-stream of Impact Wrestling. So if you're interested in that, join us.
Yeah, this weekend is a big weekend wrestling
at 10 Eastern. Bob Ruski says it's pretty good. They did make me feel better, Red Sox fan. So we'll be live on Friday, co-streaming Impact Wrestling. That's at 10 Eastern, everybody. I know it's a little bit of a later start, but we'll be co-streaming Impact Wrestling this Friday night. If anything changes, we'll let you know on Twitter. And then we'll back on Saturday, everybody, shooting the shit with you guys. We'll touch on NXT, 205 Live.
The tournament.
We'll touch more on the tournament as well. We'll touch more on Dean Ambrose. We'll touch more on Hideo because I'm sure more news will come out by then for them as well. Maybe some new releases will be made as well by Saturday night. It's going to be an interesting show come Saturday night. Maybe even do another giveaway for you guys. A WWE giveaway, fan shop giveaway, a t-shirt. So if you guys are interested in winning a WWE t-shirt, hit me up.
But Tony picks it out.
I pick it out. Yeah, you guys can pick it out. And
Straight profits, there you go.
Yeah, I'll let you guys pick it out, and we'll go from there. So thank you, everybody, so much for the support tonight. I gave everyone a shout-out. Bob Ruski says everyone has a character. Kiera Hogan and Tessa are on it. It's not that good. I was at the tapings and it was boring as fuck, says Franco. Okay, interesting. Bob Ruski says that they make it look good on TV. He's a guy. He's someone in the chat room. Be well, the real Tony and the new Dave. Well, thank you, Kenobi. Thank you for joining us. I know you were live at all 4 events. That's fucking awesome, man. I'm glad you were able to experience that. I hope you had a great time. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your week, everybody. Everybody would get HBK shirts. Yeah.
Or Street Profit.
Nothing wrong with some HBK shirts, man. Wearing the GOAT, there's nothing right. Guys, you could pick it out, but it has to be a WWE shirt. Yeah. Well, hey, man, their shirts are much cheaper than the damn AEW shirts. And I'm not sure how much Impact. Some of their shirts on WWE are like $15. That's not bad.
Okay, some. Yeah, it's not the good ones though.
Compared to to AEW, that is on Pro Wrestling Tees, it's a little bit. See, with the Pro Wrestling Tees as well, it takes a little bit longer for you to get your shirt too. Because I ordered an AEW. I ordered an AEW It's Jericho shirt, which I'm going to be wearing on Saturday, everybody. And it took like 3 weeks to get here. And I ordered it around.
You know why, don't you?
I ordered it at the beginning of January. It took a long. Yeah, it took a while.
Well, they're probably back stock too, and plus, I believe their shop is in Chicago anyway.
Yeah, so it just takes a little bit longer to get there. So we'll see. If you guys would rather not get a WWE shirt and you want another shirt,
and plus, Tony,
let me know.
Yeah, take in consideration the weather too.
That is true. That is very true. Where can you donate to our show? Well, that's very generous of you, LA. You can drop Super Hearts. We also have a Patreon. I took it out of our Periscope because not too many people were really digging it, so I wasn't trying to force it down people's throat. But you can just support us by following us. If you follow us here on Periscope or on Twitch, we'd really appreciate that. What we're really trying to do is become an affiliate on Twitch, and it's a lot of hard work to become an affiliate on Twitch. So if y'all guys don't mind, if you're following us on Periscope, and if you have Twitch, if you jump over to Twitch and follow us at Get the Tables, we'd really appreciate that. But yeah, if you just drop super hearts, that helps us out as well, LA, and we appreciate the super hearts that you dropped earlier. Thank you very much. Isn't Hot Topic selling? I don't know if Hot Topic is selling AEW merch. I know they sell like Young Bucks and Jay White and who else? Cody Rhodes, stuff like that. But they don't really. I don't know if they have AEW. I haven't been to Hot Topic since AEW shirts have actually came out. I have to go check. That's a good question, Mike Kenobi. Everybody would get Street Profits shirts. Why not? Why not? Sting is the GOAT. I got a bat to prove it. Nah, HBK, bro. HBK. But yeah, I think we're gonna end tonight's show. Thank you guys so very much for you guys joining us. Don't forget, Friday will be live. Saturday will be live. Dave, do you have any last thoughts before we are back with everybody on Friday and with another coach?
I'm looking forward to wrestling. Yeah, looking forward to this weekend. I'm curious to see how this wrestling stuff goes. I keep seeing stuff that it's going to be on like Saturday afternoon, and then watch the finale at like 8 o'clock on the network. I'm kind of confused on all that still, but yeah, I look forward to the Super Bowl, more wrestling, halftime heat. There you go, it's going to be fun. Be a fun weekend.
The biggest question with the halftime heat is it going to be inside an empty arena? Justin was telling me, one of the co-hosts on the show was telling me that it's going to be at the Performance Center. So that would be interesting to see how that would play out. But we'll see what they do on this halftime heat. It should be fun. I'm glad that they're having it, and it should be fun. If I could co-stream it, I would do it, but I don't want to get in trouble because I don't know how WWE works.
Well, just don't show anything.
But
don't show it.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
Just talk about it.
We'll see how. Maybe one night we'll do a WWE watch along or something. But if you're both wrong, Taker is just truth and loyalty. You guys were great tonight. We had over 3,000 viewers, 3,500 viewers tonight. Holy crap! That is just insane, everybody. This is the amount of support you guys give us is insane. We had 1,500 viewers last week. We had on Saturday. We had 6,900 viewers on Sunday, and then 3,500 viewers tonight. That's just unreal, man. If you haven't already, and if you're new to the show, please hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate that. Dave from New Jersey said Monday Night Wars were hot because champs on TV would belt new storylines, characters, and angles. What is my Twitch name?
Oh, guess what? Jeez.
The Twitch name is it's the same as our Twitter account. Get the Tables. Here, I'll type it in for you right here. This is where we're at on Twitter. I mean on Twitch, everybody. So if you go here, if you just type that in the search bar on Twitch, you will find us on Twitch. And you can follow us there. We'd really appreciate it. Why is Dean
Tony,
leaving? Because he's unhappy.
Wouldn't you agree that Nitro was good? Yeah, Nitro was good, but they also didn't have Hogan on it every week either. So saying that, the Wars were great because they had titles on the show every week. But Hogan, when he was the world champion, he wasn't there every single week.
I couldn't remember. He may not have. It's been a long time. Since Nitro.
No, but Hogan wasn't on Nitro every single week. He was a special attraction, so you'd make him wait a week or two and he'd show up for the big ones. But yeah.
All right, everybody.
He doesn't need to be champion every week.
We're going to end tonight's show. We thank everybody again for joining us. I'm going to end you guys with some more truth. So have a great rest of your week. Have a great hump day tomorrow. We hope everybody has a great rest of your week and have a kick-ass Wednesday. And we will see you, everyone, on Friday night. Thank you so much for all your support. And we couldn't do it without you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. What's up?